The 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network welcomes you to our broadcast of the 39th Annual 8-Man All-Star Games at Trojan Field in Beloit. We begin the 8-Man Division 1 All-Star Game as 40 of the top players in Division 1 in the state of Kansas are ready to square off in an East-West battle. Here with the play-by-play action on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network is Wade Gerstner.
And a fine good morning, everyone, from Trojan Field in Beloit for the 39th Annual 8-Man All-Star Games, alongside color commentator Todd Clover, sideline reporter Dusty Deines, and our intern Matthew Rice. Wade Gerstner with you on this fine Saturday morning as we welcome 40 of the best 8-man Division I players in the state of Kansas, and a big welcome to our listeners on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. KR92 in Belleville, KD Country 94, KDNS Downs Beloit, 98.9 FM, 1540 AM KMCP in McPherson, 99.3 FM, 1370 AM Coyle in Iola, 1510 AM KLQR in Larned. And to those listening online at AstraRadio.com, the KQNK stream and app, and also online 8manallstars.com. Glad to have all of you with us here today. Before we proceed, let us fill you in on how this terrific event became a reality. In 1985, the 8-Man Coach Association created the Kansas 8-Man All-Star Football Game. The following year, 1986, area student athletes participated in the first game at Trojan Field in Beloit, Kansas. Players are selected by the 8-Man Coaches Committee each December, and in 2001, after many requests, the 8-Man All-Star Football Game became plural, as 2 8-Man division games were played, with one game being played in the morning and another played in the afternoon. These 8-Man All-Star Games rely on the support of the community as well as resources from North Central Kansas Technical College, Beloit Junior Senior High School, the Knights of Columbus, the Beloit Rotary Club, and many other organizations as well. Playing the biggest role in handling the organization of the event is the 8-Man All-Star Game Committee, as they work together to cover all the fine details behind the scenes to make sure the games and the entire week of activities go smoothly. A huge thank you to the chairman, Dave Dubert, and the entire committee for their hard work and extra efforts in making this one-of-a-kind event possible in the city of Beloit. The entire week of fun began for the 88-man All-Stars on Tuesday as they checked into NCK Tech, went through team meetings and, of course, practice. Off the field, there were other things to do as well for the players as they went to the movies, attended a Tech college tour, attended the 8-man pep rally at Chautauqua Park in Beloit yesterday, participated in Friday Night Lights last night, plus they enjoyed a players' banquet meal last night at the Student Union. Now, for many of these players, this will be the last time they will play competitive football, while others will be taking their talent to the next level, college. And judging by our conversations with the players, they are ready to showcase their talents today in the 39th Annual 8-Man All-Star Games here at Trojan Field in Beloit. When we return on the 8-Man All-Star Game pregame show, we will profile a few of our All-Star participants. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Your horse deserves the best. That's why Central Valley Ag developed Empyrean Equine Feed. Trust CVA Empyrean for a superior feed solution that prioritizes health, longevity, and peak performance. Designed to support horses throughout their lives, Empyrean's powerful blend of nutritional elements with Amifirm at its core optimizes equine health and performance. Try Empyrean today. Visit cvacoop.com.
The Brush Art Corporation of Downs, Kansas would like to wish all of the 8-Man All-Star Game participants the best luck in today's games in Beloit. And they're proud to support all area athletes and athletic programs. At Brush Art Corporation, they pride themselves on long-term personalized customer relationships with a variety of companies. Where do great brands turn to find solutions at work? Brush Art Corporation of Downs, Kansas. Proud to be a sponsor of today's 8-Man All-Star Games.
Hey there, Internet user. Ready to upgrade your online experience? At Cunningham Fiber, we're not just about fast speeds. We're about personal connection. With local offices right in your neighborhood and live customer support, help is always just around the corner. Say goodbye to long waits and automated messages. Our friendly, knowledgeable team is here to assist you with any questions or concerns you may have. Experience the difference with Cunningham Fiber, where fast Internet meets local support. Visit ctcfiber.net. Call now to join the family. Cunningham Fiber. Connect with us.
The Schooler Company in Downs can handle your grain in a timely fashion and tailors risk management solutions for their customers by buying, selling, storing, and transporting grain and ingredients for use in feed, food, and renewable fuel markets worldwide. Call them today with any questions you may have at 785-620-1133. The Schooler Company in Downs, wishing all of the 8-man All-Star participants the best of luck in today's games.
Area athletes and coaches are preparing for today's 8-man Division I All-Star game, and they are playing and coaching for the Division I West All-Stars. From Lincoln High School in the Katy Country Port listing area, the Leopards have triple threat Logan Meyer, who had an outstanding career at Lincoln. It was an honorable mention All-State back in 8-man Division II as a senior. He's a dual threat quarterback that threw for over 3,300 yards and 43 touchdowns and ran for over 1,625 scores in his career. As a senior, he threw for just under 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns and added 657 yards and 11 scores on the ground. He was also a key contributor on defense with 218 total tackles, 22 for loss, and 13 sacks. He had 76 tackles with 8 for loss and 8 sacks this past season. Through the first 3 years of his career, Meyer was coached by Dustin Petit. However, Petit left for another opportunity, and Colby Hamill took over as the head coach in 2023. Hamill and Meyer teamed to lead Lincoln to a 5-4 record this past season, their first winning record since 2020. Battled in their playoff opener against Rawlins County, but came up just short by 4 in a cross-district game. Meyer discussed the transition to Coach Hamill and what stood out over his 4 years with the Leopards.
I really learned a lot about how he coaches. He tried not to change as much as possible. He made it real easy for me to transition over to him from what we had last year. I'd say me as a 4-year starter, being able to lead the guys as a freshman all the way up till my senior year, just leading them through adversity, the good, the bad, all of it.
Colby Hamill is no stranger to the 8-man All-Star game, a member of the D2 East staff in 2021 when he wrapped up a 2-year stint as a Rock Hills coach. He returned to Kansas after 2 years in Fairbury, Nebraska, led the Leopards to the winning season. He's excited to be back at the 8-man All-Star game and commented on what Myers meant to the Lincoln program in his first season with the Leopards.
Yeah, Logan's been a staple in our first year at Lincoln. He's helped create a foundation. He's already done that even before I got there, and just shows up to work every day, with his hard hat on, lunch pill, ready for work, and that whole senior class has done a tremendous job of just being good role models for the lower classmen and make a transition very easy.
A team that the Lincoln Leopards saw in the district this season was Clifton Clyde, and they're well represented with Trent Long making an appearance for the Division I West All-Stars. Long joins a long list of Clifton Clyde All-Stars that have participated in this game in the past, and he certainly earned his spot, putting together what was likely the best single season for a dual-threat quarterback during Russ Steinbrock's tenure as the head coach for the Eagles. In a typically run-first offense, his 1,386 passing yards in 2023 nearly doubled the old-school record of 707 set just 2 years ago by Jet Scotch, and he also holds 4 of the top 5 marks for passing yards in a single game. He also ranks atop the leaderboard for completions in a season, a career, passing touchdowns in a game in a season, and passing touchdowns in a career with 31. To add to his success in the passing game, he was a huge threat in the running game, helping lead the Eagles to a 7-3 record in 2023. He ran the ball 133 times for 1,128 yards and 19 touchdowns in his senior season. He averaged 8.5 yards per carry throughout his career, and that put him in second place among all Eagles in that category. He was also a first-team All-State defensive selection, leading the Eagles with 95 tackles in 2023. Finished 5th all-time on Clifton Clyde's tackle chart with 236 total stops. He commented on what it meant to play in Russ Steinbrock's program over the last 4 years.
It's really helped me grow as a person and just become a better man. Not only just sports, it just helps you become more fundamentally sound in life and more successful.
Trent Long representing Clifton Clyde from the KR92 area in our 8-man All-Star Network coverage area, and also Colby Hamill and Logan Meyer from Lincoln representing the Division I West as well today as they get set for kickoff. Stay tuned in our pregame show. When we return, we'll be joined by the head coaches, Michael Massey of Linden for the Division I East, Travis Dabian of Hill City for the Division I West. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Continuing to grow to meet your needs, the Guarantee State Bank & Trust Company. With 100 years under our belt, the Guarantee offers the convenient banking tools you need today. Digital banking services with the Guarantee on the go, along with the traditional banking services from the Guarantee staff you know and trust. Visit GuaranteeState.com or see us in person at any of our 9 locations in North Central Kansas. Member FDIC, the Guarantee, your community bank.
Your tire headquarters is Thompson's OK Tire in Beloit. For light truck to car to tractor, if it's a tire you need or if it's tire related, like balancing or repair, stop by Thompson Tire. Plus, they can align your car's front end and save the life of your existing tires. For new tires and wheels, see the staff at Thompson's OK Tire in Beloit, a proud supporter of the Beloit Trojans and the St. John's Tipton Blue Jays. Wishing them good luck this season.
Remus Farms in Concord City is a proud supporter of the area athletes in this year's 8-man All-Star Games. They want to congratulate all the players on a great career. Remus Farms Chemical and Fertilizer is your wholesale fertilizer dealer in Kansas. They wish the best to all the young men playing in today's games and give a special shout-out to the athletes from North Central Kansas, including Lakeside's Ian Christine, Nathan Goheen and Doak Guttery of Osborne, and Chance Dearmark from St. John's Tipton. Good luck, All-Stars, from Remus Farms LLC in Concord City.
Success is not given. It has to be earned. It takes grit, a relentless pursuit of your passion, the courage to commit to the daily grind to perfect the skills needed to become a leader in your field. The path to success is different for everyone, but those with grit stand out from the crowd. And at NCK Tech, you can too. They train you, test you, and give you the tools to be successful. All you need is a place to grow your grit. Visit nckTC.edu and learn more. Schedule a campus visit today. Grow your grit, NCK Tech.
Welcome back to our pregame show on 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. Wade Gerstner with you, and I'm joined by Michael Massey, head coach of the Linden Tigers and head coach of the 8-Man Division I East All-Star team. They're in the blue uniforms here today. And, Coach, it was a great year for your high school and a state championship. And before we get to that, how's the week gone for you and the 8-Man All-Stars?
It's been a great week. You know, the city of Beloit's done a great job of hosting us, and the kids have had a great time, and you know, we're well fed, and there's a lot of activities going on, and they have a lot of camaraderie, which makes it really special.
What was it like to have a team that goes undefeated and wins a state championship? I know you slid in the head coaching shoes, and obviously your timing was impeccable, as they would say.
It's hard to put into words. It's just so special. You know, it's like a fairy tale type deal. You know, we knew we were going to have a good team. The kids came together and didn't care who got credit. They just wanted to win, and we got to play that game in the snow. It snowed like 3 or 4 inches on us during the game. It was like a fairy tale with snow coming down and the kids playing as well as they did, and to come out with the state championship, first one in school history, is very, very special.
And it's not every day that you have 4 kids on an 8-man football team, let alone a team that had all the success you had, to go on to play at major college levels.
Yeah, you just don't hear of it. I mean, even bigger schools in the state of Kansas that play 11-man football, you just don't hear of 4 of their players going to play college football, and 2 of them being Division I and a Division II player, and you know, a high-level JUCO player. It's something you don't see every day, and you know, we might not see again. So you know, we try to breathe it all in and enjoy the success and make sure they're good kids as well, and be humble and all that sort of stuff. And they did a great job of that. And it was, again, it's hard to put in words.
You have 3 players on the All-Star team you're coaching from the high school team that you led to a state championship, went undefeated 13-0. One of those is your son. Well, I would imagine it's pretty special, one, to coach your son in his final high school game. He's going to play at the next level, but also to coach 3 of your kids that helped lead you to a title.
And you talk about the 3 kids that are here, and then we have 2 more that would be here, but they're at Division I programs, so they couldn't be here this week. You know, we were really stacked with talent, you know, 1 through 8, and it's really special to coach those guys, because you know, I've coached them youth football, junior high football, and then I moved up to the high school, so I've kind of followed this group through. So it's like they're all 3 my sons, even though one of them's obviously biologically mine, and then the other ones are just, you know, you spend so much time with them, and it's great to get to do it one more time.
What you think are the strengths of your team for today's game?
We are fast and physical. We're not the biggest team around. You know, we don't have a lot of guys 240 plus or anything like that, but we do have really good team speed, and they're really physical attacking players.
I've been asking All-Star coaches here at the 8-Man All-Star Games the last few years, and that is, what makes 8-man football unique?
The speed of the game, and how you can end up short, especially places defensively short with a man. It seems like you're always somewhere short, one guy on defense. Offensively, it's easier to get guys into space, and then obviously you have to be really, really good tacklers, or you're going to end up in big trouble, and the other team's going to score pretty easily because there's a lot of one-on-one situations where maybe an 11-man game you end up with help or 2.5 guys there to make a tackle instead of just being one-on-one.
Coach, congratulations on a state championship, and best of luck in the 8-man All-Star games today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all you do.
That is Michael Massey. He is the head coach of the Linden Tigers. He's also the head coach of the 8-man Division I East All-Stars. We're now joined by Travis Dabian, the head coach of the Hill City Ringnecks and the head coach of the 8-man Division I West All-Star team. They'll be in the red uniforms today. Coach, how's the experience been for you, man?
It's awesome. I love coming here. Last year I was here as part of the coaching staff as an offensive coordinator, and it was a blast. A little over 15 years ago I was here as a player and enjoyed my experience. So I'm just enjoying every day because, like I said, being here twice, I know how fast it goes, and it's a great experience for everybody involved.
So you've been here before, you've been a player. What advice would you give to the players now that you're older and wiser with age?
Well, I actually told my team that when I met with them as soon as we got here. I said, being here a couple times now, I said, the thing that I want you guys to take away from the most is live in the moment. And I think this week can be what you want it to be. If you want to make friends and you want to have a good time and all of that, you can. And if a kid, maybe sometimes I've seen in the past as a coach and when I was a player, a kid maybe didn't get a spot he wanted on the team or wasn't a starter, and he kind of got a little bummed out about it and isolated himself from the team and didn't have a good experience. So your experience here can be as good as you want it to be. So I told him, cherish every opportunity you have here because you'll look back on it one day and think of it as one of your better times.
What does 8-man football, what makes it unique compared to, say, 11-man football or other types of football?
That's a great question. For one, I think is opportunity. A lot of these kids here come from really small communities, maybe 1,000 or less kids, some of them even smaller, half the size of that. And a lot of those kids would never have an opportunity to play football if they weren't, if they went to a school of 1,000 kids. So opportunity is a huge thing for them, and exposure, because a lot of these kids, like I said, had they gone to a school of 1,000 kids, may never got an opportunity to play. And when you've got an opportunity in 8-man football to play and get seen, it's a great thing. And a lot of these kids have small town values that are really important and good for young men to grow by. I think is another thing that I think is really great about it.
All right, so help us a little bit to understand your team. What do you think are some of your strengths and areas where you can really exploit some things coming up later today?
I don't know that in these games there's necessarily huge strengths and weaknesses because all the kids that are here are good in their own right. So unlike a normal game on a Friday where us coaches game plan for teams that do have those weaknesses, when everybody's good, it's tough to single out and find weaknesses. So what we're going to do is we spent the whole week here trying to figure out what our kids' strengths were and play to those strengths, and hopefully our strengths outweigh our opponents.
Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck today, and welcome back to 8-man All-Star Games as a coach after being a player.
Thank you very much.
That was Travis Dabian, head coach of the Division I West Red All-Star team. Stay tuned for more of our pregame show as we'll hear from all of today's players with our player introductions after this timeout. This is the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Attention all farmers, truckers, and haulers. Miller Welding of Downs is proud to be a distributor of Sherco's top-of-the-line tarp and hopper openers. Not only do they sell, but they can also install and service your Sherco electric tarp and hopper openers. Sherco offers a wide range of tarping solutions for the agriculture industry for everything from grain trailers, grain trucks, grain carts, wagons, and more. Their advanced technology allows you to cover and uncover loads effortlessly, saving you time and hassle on every job. Visit Miller Welding on Highway 24 just west of Downs or call 785-454-3425 to find out more.
For the latest news, standings, and schedules for your favorite high school teams, visit ncksports.com, your home on the web for high school sports involving the North Central Activities Association, Northern Plains League, plus Smith Center and Concordia. Visit ncksports.com today. A big thanks to our sponsors, Thompson OK Tire in Beloit, Mankato Professional Pharmacy, S&S Drug and Home Health, Brush Art Corporation and the Brush Group, Cunningham Telephone and Cable, and by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Todd Clover, Sales Associate.
Your horse deserves the best. That's why Central Valley Ag developed Empyrean Equine Feed. Trust CVA Empyrean for a superior feed solution that prioritizes health, longevity, and peak performance. Designed to support horses throughout their lives, Empyrean's powerful blend of nutritional elements with Amifirm at its core optimizes equine health and performance. Try Empyrean today. Visit cvacoop.com.
The Brush Art Corporation of Downs, Kansas would like to wish all of the 8-man All-Star Game participants the best luck in today's games in Beloit. And they're proud to support all area athletes and athletic programs. At Brush Art Corporation, they pride themselves on long-term personalized customer relationships with a variety of companies. Where do great brands turn to find solutions at work? Brush Art Corporation of Downs, Kansas. Proud to be a sponsor of today's 8-man All-Star Games.
We now introduce the Division I East All-Stars, coached by Michael Massey of Linden and assisted by Derek Bunke of Chase County and Tyler O'Connor from Mound Ridge.
Jace Wonderlick, quarterback, Central Burton.
Alex Smith, running back, South Sumner.
Jalen Massey, running back, Linden.
Tucker Groh, wide receiver, Chase County.
Micah Carthus, defensive end, Chase County.
Josiah Bonura, running back, Care Paravel.
Dalton Morrison, tight end, Oregon.
Caston Worth, linebacker, Linden.
Jeremiah Prince, wide receiver, Sedan.
Jackson Risley, linebacker, tight end, Caldwell.
Gage Bowers, running back, linebacker, Pretty.
Carter Stansbury, linebacker, Little River.
Andrew Smith, quarterback, wide receiver, Little River.
Broad Griffin, linebacker, Chase County.
Noah Collins, nose tackle, Care Paravel.
Ian Bryan, O-line, Care Paravel.
Peyton Taylor, guard, nose guard, center, Harrington High School.
Caleb Anschutz, O-line, Linden.
Lane Darbrough, Madison, D-line.
Now let's meet the Division I West All-Stars, coached by Travis Davian of Hill City, assisted by Colby Hamill of Lincoln and Aaron Stromik from Rollins County.
Brandon Price, center, Wichita County.
Braden Bird, wide receiver, Meade High School.
Caden Morgan, quarterback, La Crosse High School.
Logan Meyer, DN, Lincoln High School.
Gage Berg, DN, La Crosse High School.
Wyatt Gardner, quarterback, Wichita County.
Jonathan Mater, linebacker, Hoxie High School.
Ryder Dent, linebacker, Elsaline.
Brian Rodriguez, DB, Atwood, Rollins County.
Joe Heischel, DB, Elsaline.
Trace Kinnerconnect, running back, Quinter High School.
Brock Keith, running back, Meade High School.
Jaden Nuss, defensive end, Hill City High School.
Hunter Holmgren, linebacker, Elsaline.
Pete Krause, defensive end, Rollins County High School.
Andre Vaughn, offensive line, Hoxie High School.
Trent Long, quarterback, Clifton Clyde High School.
Corbin Michek, tight end, Chico Community High School.
Christopher Michelle, O-line, D-line, Wichita County High School.
Justice Novotny, tight end, Skyline High School.
And now we head back to Trojan Field in Beloit on the Kansas 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network.
And it is a beautiful day for football here on Saturday, June 8th, 2024. 74 degrees our temperature as we are nearing kickoff for the 8-man Division I All-Star Game between the East in the blue uniforms and the West in their red uniforms. South wind about 9 to 10 miles per hour, so wind's not a major factor. Looks like any severe weather is going to hold off till late this evening, so you could not order up a better day weather-wise to play some football. It's not going to be overly excessively hot, as we've seen some years in the afternoon game, and so we're looking forward to two outstanding football games between the 80 best players in the state of Kansas in 8-man football. It is the 39th annual 8-man All-Star Games here at Trojan Field in Beloit. Wade Gerstner, Todd Clover, Dusty Deines, and our intern Matthew Rice with us here today to bring you all of the coverage. Field is in terrific shape, thanks to Rodney Paulin and everybody helping out with that. And also a big thank you to the community of Beloit for once again doing a great job of hosting this event when the players came in on Tuesday, kept them busy throughout the week. We had the pep rally yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Great turnout for that. Now Chautauqua Park in Beloit. Last night, Friday Night Lights and the video and all of that. And now today it is time to strap on the helmets one last time for many of these players. In the Division I game, we have 40 All-Stars. 5 of the 40 will play football at the next level. 4 will play football. 1 will play baseball. That one playing baseball for Fort Hays State is Brock Griffin. Jalen Massey is going to play football at Washburn. He's from Linden. Caston Worth is from Linden. He's going to be at Butler Community College playing football. Logan Myers playing football in college. Andre Vaughn, Hoxie football at Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska. And it's going to be fun to see how these players are condition-wise, Todd, because they haven't played football in a long time, but they've made some great relationships, bonded during the week, and you know that they're itching to get out there and hit somebody.
Well, they are, and the first quarter is always so important in a game like this because
to kind of get into the rhythm of the game. Sometimes you can lose a game. We talk about that in basketball when you go to state in the first quarter. Sometimes you can lose it in the first quarter. So the athletes are going to perform. We're going to see big plays, probably a lot of passing. We've seen that lately, especially in the morning games that go about 3 hours long. So I'm anxious to see who up front can give their quarterbacks and their receivers time to make plays, because, you can talk about the athletes all you want. The guys up front have to give them the opportunity to have space, to have time, so that they can use their athleticism and just make some of the big plays that we're used to seeing in this game.
Dusty Deines is on the sideline for us here today for the Game 1. Game 2, I'll be on the sideline. Dusty will be in the booth to do play-by-play. Once again, the Division 2 game will be at 1:30 today. Pre-game at 1 o'clock here on KD Country 94 and 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. And all these teams are going to have some type of spread or multiple spread formation. It's the way football is becoming. It spreads you out, and especially in 8-man, you utilize your speed the best you can, because that's the big thing people talk about. What makes 8-man football so unique? It's usually the speed.
It's the speed, and it's coaches knowing who their athletes are and putting them in space. And if you have one person miss a tackle, that's when you have the touchdown, because they're just, obviously, it's a math thing. There's 3 less players out there, and that's the reason they go to the spread. It makes it a one-on-one situation for those defensive players. So a lot of times we see the difference in this game is who has the best secondary, who has that defensive end that can put pressure on the quarterback. So, yeah, it's an 8-man game. It's about offense. But guys in the secondary, guys that can get the pass rush quite often are the big players in these type of games.
The head coach for the D1 East Blue All-Stars, Michael Massey, in his first year as head coach at Linden. They went 13-0, Division I state champions. He's a Lebo grad from 1993. Derek Budke, assistant coach at Chase County. He was the Kansas Wrestling Coach Association Coach of the Year back in 2018, so he knows more than one sport. Michael Massey used to be the basketball coach at Linden for many years. Many of these coaches have to coach lots of different things at smaller schools, as you can imagine. Tyler O'Connor of Mound Ridge in his first year went 9-1. He's a Walls County grad. He's an assistant coach for the East. He played in the 09 8-man All-Star game. Travis Dabian is the head coach of the Division I West Red All-Stars. He's been at Hill City, has a 40-20 record, 2 consecutive sub-state appearances, and God bless him, he has 6 kids and 5 are girls. 2007 Falco grad, had played in this game in 07. Colby Hamill used to coach at Rock Hills, head coach at Lincoln now as an assistant coach, and Aaron Schromick of Rollins County, 2 years at Rollins County, 17-5 overall record, last year 9-2, and he's a 1995 Atwood graduate. His son Cole played this game in 2017. Linden is 8-man Division I champions this year. They beat Wichita County in the title game in the snow, went undefeated 13-0, and Elsing lost to Wichita County in the sub-state finals in the semis. Cape Fairville lost to Linden in the semifinals. All 4 of those schools well represented here today. Each one of them, I believe, has 3 representatives from each of their schools playing in this Division I All-Star game. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout and pause for our national anthem. This is the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Ready to supercharge your online experience? Switch to Cunningham Fiber today. Say goodbye to frustrating lag and hello to lightning-fast gigabit speeds that will keep you ahead of the game. With Cunningham Fiber, enjoy seamless streaming, rapid downloads, and crystal-clear video calls that bring you closer to loved ones. Plus, with our reliable connection, you can count on staying connected when it matters most. Don't settle for mediocre internet. Call today to get on the list for Cunningham's Fiber Gig Broadband and unlock a world of possibilities. Visit us at ctcfiber.net or call now to make the switch. Cunningham Fiber. Connect with us.
The Schooler Company in Downs can handle your grain in a timely fashion and tailors risk management solutions for their customers by buying, selling, storing, and transporting grain and ingredients for use in feed, food, and renewable fuel markets worldwide. Call them today with any questions you may have at 785-620-1133. The Schooler Company in Downs, wishing all of the 8-man All-Star participants the best of luck in today's games.
The Guarantee State Bank and Trust Company Insurance Agency is here to assist you with your insurance or fixed annuity needs. Are you turning 65 and needing a Medicare supplement? Do you have enough life insurance to provide for your family? Have you considered long-term care insurance? Or do you have a question on adding a fixed annuity to your investment strategy? Give us a call toll-free at 888-738-4429 or see us in person at the Guarantee State Bank and Trust Company, your community bank, member FDIC.
Your tire headquarters is Thompson's OK Tire in Beloit. For light truck to car to tractor, if it's a tire you need or if it's tire related, like balancing or repair, stop by Thompson Tire. Plus, they can align your car's front end and save the life of your existing tires. For new tires and wheels, see the staff at Thompson's OK Tire in Beloit, a proud supporter of the Beloit Trojans and the St. John's Tipton Blue Jays. Wishing them good luck this season.
And welcome back to all those listening on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. 8manallstars.com is a site to check out. There are the rosters, previous records, and so much more at your disposal. A lot of profiles that Dusty did throughout the week on athletes from North Central Kansas. And so we appreciate everything that Dusty did all week long covering the 8-Man All-Stars as we get ready for the Division I All-Star Game between the East in the blue uniforms with white numerals and lettering, and the gray pants, and the Division I West All-Stars in the red jerseys with the white numerals and lettering in the gray pants. And then all the teams, the individual players, have their helmet from the high school that they played for. Of course, all these players are seniors, or now no longer seniors. They've actually graduated and will move on to the next level of their lives. Let's go down to the field and Dusty.
Yeah, we're just getting ready for the coin toss here between the Division I West and Division I East. You'll hear the official here.
Dr. Dylan Provost. I expect you guys to act as such, okay? You've been appointed by your coaches. I want you guys to lead your team as you should, okay? That means after the play, ball's on the ground, get up, talk to the official. This game will go by quicker. You guys will have more fun, help each other out. Doesn't matter the color of the jersey, okay? So, you guys are visitor, right? We will call toss. This is heads, and this is tails. Tails, heads. I want you to call it in the air, and I want you to repeat back to me what he says right after. Got it? Yes, sir. Okay. If I drop it, we'll do it again. Heads. It is tails. Ready? You have one to toss? Yeah, we defer. We want the ball. We want the ball. Kick that way, all right? Red, go ahead and stand over here. Blue, go ahead and stand over here for me. Here, guys. You guys heard.
All right, so there you go. The coin toss as the red deferred. East will receive.
All right, so we're about ready to start the Division I All-Star Game. Division II game coming up here later today at 1:30. Our pregame coverage will start at 1 unless the first game runs long, and then we may be starting a little bit later than those original times that have been listed. So we're looking forward to this one. I think what we're going to really focus on, and it's becoming this way at every level of football, and that is, can you throw the football? Can you protect your quarterback? And usually your quarterback nowadays on good football teams is a multi-threat. He can run, he can pass, he can evade a pass rush and make plays when it looks like everything is broken. We've seen that over the last 5 to 10 years here at 8-Man All-Star Games. And if you got an athlete, usually an 8-man, you put your best athlete most of the time at quarterback.
Well, defensively, you can have the perfect defense called. It can be executed by your secondary. You can get to the quarterback, but it's an athlete now that can use his legs and make the defense pay, and that's just so hard to stop. So when you add that to the equation for the offense, it just makes it that much more difficult. And then, if you're in man and you're running away in coverage, you don't know that he's scrambling. That's when you just have the huge plays. So it just puts so much more pressure on the defense, the defensive coordinators, to know what to call to stop the quarterback that can run and throw.
As Dusty mentioned, the D1 West won the toss. They defer. So D1 East in the blue uniforms will return from right to left to kick it off from left to right. Here are the D1 West, and it's a little onside squib kick to the left side, angling out of bounds, and no one touched it. It is a penalty with the ball going out of bounds. So the Division I West All-Stars trying to pull a surprise with the squib onside kick to the far side, and it looked initially like the D1 East was backpedaling, and it would have had opportunity. The problem is ran out of real estate, ball goes out of bounds. So the penalty, and D1 East certainly will take the football on where it went out of bounds at the 34. It is an 80-yard field and 8-man football. The 40 is the midfield stripe. The quarterback is Jace Wunderlich of Central Burton, running back Jalen Massey of Linden, Tucker Groh, wide receiver Chase County, Michael Cawthers is a tight end from Chase County, slot back Brock Griffin from Chase County. First down at 10, there's some movement, and we have a penalty. So 2 penalties right off the bat, one for the kickoff out of bounds, and now the D1 West jumps offside. The left guard is Ian Bryan of Carapara-Bell. Peyton Taylor, the center from Harrington. Caleb Anschutz of Linden is the right guard for the D1 West. When it comes to defense, Wyatt Gardner, Wichita County is the left outside backer. Jonathan Mater Hoxie is the right outside backer. Ryder Dent is the middle backer for El Saline. Right corner is Brian Rodriguez of Rollins County. Joseph Heischel is the kicker and left cornerback for El Saline. The right defensive end, Jaden Nuss of Hill City. Hunter Holmgren, the nose guard from El Saline. Left defensive end, Peter Krause of Rollins County. So first down and 10, the ball at the 39. Pass over the middle. It is caught, making the catch and hauling in, and finally taken down to 15 is Brock Griffin. Pick up on the play of 26 yards on a nice pass play for the D1 East All-Stars on the pass by Wunderlich to his target, Griffin.
Yeah, and the key to that play was a nice skinny post, but plenty of time to throw the football, and that's a good indicator of what I think we're going to see if they're going to have that much time to throw.
So first down and 10 for the D1 East in the blue uniforms. One receiver left. The wingback on the left side is Griffin. Here's the handoff, Wunderlich to Jalen Massey of Linden, and he is swarmed under, taken down after a gain of just a yard, maybe two for Massey. In there for the D1 West All-Stars, Ryder Dent from El Saline along with a couple of his teammates.
Yeah, and then a couple more after that. There was 5 guys in the pursuit, and you can see how fired up they are. And what a shocker. We start the game with a pre-snap penalty. That's why the first quarter sometimes there isn't as much scoring because you have the penalties, and when they settle in, the scoreboard lights up.
Second down and 8 at the 13 for the D1 East in the blue. Moving to our left. Griffin in motion. They hand it to him going in motion, and he has nowhere to go. Man, the D1 West was there with the penetration. It was led by Peter Krause, the left defensive end, Rollins County. He stayed home. It's a loss of 5.
Well, he got penetration, and you hear people talk about setting the edge. What that means is you get across and you get upfield, and when that happens, the reverse, or in this play, the trying to get to the outside, can't get to the outside because you got penetration and you set that edge. There's absolutely nowhere to go, and you have the loss.
So a third down and 14 facing the D1 East All-Stars, moving to our left towards the east end zone. The field sets from east to west or west to east, depending how you want to look at it. Great day for football, temperature 75 degrees, 2 tights. And out of the shotgun is Wunderlich on a false start on the D1 Blue All-Stars. So third penalty of the game in the early going. 10:20 to go first quarter. The D1 East with the football driving on their first possession of the game.
Well, it was third and long, and you had the split end on the right side, or I should say the tight end, was off in a pass pattern, and he wanted to get out quick to get open and make a big play, and he just went a little bit early. You could see him flinch right before the ball was snapped. So backed it up even more, but you got 2 downs to get this, so you don't have to throw it up to 25 yards downfield into the end zone. Get part of it and go on fourth.
Third down and 19, the ball resting at the 24 in D1 West territory. Massey in motion, Wunderlich hit as he throws, and it is intercepted. Picked up at the 6, and on the return, here comes the D1 West, and finally stumbling out of bounds, angling far side out of the boundary at 25-yard line, a return about 19 yards. Is Brian Rodriguez of Rollins County coming up with the INT to stop the D1 East drive.
And Jaden Nuss out of Hill City is the one that caused the errant pass because he nailed the quarterback as he was throwing it, which that is why it was underthrown, and Rodriguez is able to pick it off. So, as I said, as the game was getting started, the key to stopping these offenses is defensive ends that can get pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what Nuss just did.
The D1 West will take over. Their quarterback is Caden Morgan of La Crosse, 6'4", 180. Center is Brandon Price of Wichita County. Wide receiver Gage Burke of La Crosse. We'll set the rest here in a moment. Play action. Morgan airs it out near side on the money, making a catch. Novotny from Pratt Skyline at the D1 East 35-yard line. Gain on the play of 18 and a first down on a perfectly thrown ball by Caden Morgan. The slot back, Trace Skinner Connect of Quinter. Running back, Brock Heath of Meade. Left guard, Corbin Michek of Trigo. Christopher Michelle is the right guard, Wichita County. And Novotny, the tight end, Skyline, made that catch. He had 29 catches a year ago. Here's a screen out to the left side. Quick pass and a short gain for Skinner Connect of Quinter. A gain of a couple. The defense for the D1 East, Alex Smith of South Sumner, a safety. Corner, Josiah Bonura of Carapara-Bell. Linebackers, Dalton Morrison, Argonia, Linden's Caston Worth. Left defensive end, Jackson Risley of South Sumner. Corners, Andrew Smith of Little River. Also nose guard is Noah Collins of Carapara-Bell. Right defensive end, Lane Darbro of Madison. Second down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup to interconnect, and we have a whistle and a false start calling on the D1 West, their third penalty of the ball game.
Yeah, and that was a go route for our split end, and he was a little early on the go. He took off, and nobody had moved inside. He was 5 yards downfield. So pretty sure everybody knows what the pass pattern was on that, because he was taking off as fast as he could go, just a little early.
Second down and 13 now for the D1 West at the midfield stripe. Quick pass on an out, and it is caught by Novotny. Short gain of a couple. Let's go down to Dusty.
Yeah, we're with Brian Rodriguez. A huge interception here to start this game for your team. They got a quick hitter on their first play, but you guys buckled down. What did you see on the pick?
I just saw the tight end going on a go route, so I just stayed with him. Just got the ball.
You know, it's had some pretty good pressure, too. What's it been like to see these guys and see them shine this week?
Oh, it's been amazing. Our defense is doing a pretty good job. And, yeah.
We're going to let it play run.
Third down and 11 for the D1 West with a hurry-up. Pass is tipped to the line of scrimmage. Terrific play by Jackson Risley of South Sumner. And now the D1 West faces fourth down and long. So the D1 West comes out. They tried the onside kick, Todd, and then they get interception on defense. They get hurry-up on offense. And things were looking promising, and then the false start penalty, and now they are in a punting situation at the D1 East 35, going to our right. They're faced with a 4th and 11 unless they fake it. Here is the punt by Trent Long of Clifton Clyde. It is caught at the 5 on the return, breaking a couple tackles, lowering the boom is the returner for the D1 East. That is Josiah Bonura of Care Perivale. He is only 5'8", 160 pounds. But he had a nice return of about 20, and then marked the ball at the 24, and that's where the D1 East will start. No score, both teams in one possession. 8:13 to go, first quarter D1 All-Star game here at Trojan Field in Beloit.
And Wade, you've already seen the key to stop getting stops as the defensive ends. Third down, you knock down a pass. The interception was caused by a defensive end putting pressure. Defensive ends are key in this game because you're going to be throwing the football. Somebody's got to get to the quarterback, or you're going to see a lot of points.
And so far, the D ends have stayed home. They have caused some problems. So Wunderlich from Central Burton, 5'9", 170, threw for 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, ran for 1,100 yards a year ago. He hands it off to Massey from Linden, and a gain of 2, maybe 3, to the 27-yard line. Rodriguez, who Dusty just talked to him, made the interception on the first drive of D1 West defense, and on the stop also there, Krause of Rollins County and Jaden Nuss of Hill City.
They tried to run away from him, and he just ran it back, LT of the Giants style, just ran it down from the backside. Krause is a good defensive end.
Over the years of these 8-man All-Star games, we've seen some outstanding athletes at the defensive end position. Second down and 7 at the 27 for the D1 East, moving to our left from the near hash, one receiver to the left, 3 to the right. And here comes a jailbreak, and Wunderlich is twirled to the turf, coming through untouched with the sack for the D1 West All-Stars is Jonathan Mader from Hoxie, 5'10", 185-pounder, and he came through and make the play defensively, and the East now faced with a 3rd and forever, 3rd and 16.
He was a middle linebacker blitz, and he came through clean through the 2-hole and got to the quarterback immediately, had absolutely no chance to even throw the ball away. So defense is saying, you're going to throw the ball, we're going to give you some blitzes, your running backs better pick it up. If not, we're going to get to your quarterback.
Pair receiver to the far side of the field, one receiver to the near. Wunderlich in the gun with a running back on his right hip. That's Massey. Fakes it to Massey, has some time, 3-man rush. Now, flushed out of the pocket, Wunderlich tucks it, little hesitation, and then dropped at the 27. Has a terrific tackle in the open field near the far sideline made by the D1 West. That was Wyatt Gardner of Wichita County. What a year they had. State runner-up, 12-1, 5'7", 160-pounder. Made a great open field tackle. Gain on the play of about 6, and so it's a 4th down and 8.
And that you saw the defense in zone when the quarterback scrambled, just what we talked about 5 minutes ago. Quarterback scrambled. You had guys looking at the quarterback to come up and make the play instead of being in man and running away from the quarterback. So good defensive call.
Lane Darbro of Madison is the kicker and the punter for the D1 East All-Stars. He stands at his own 15. It is a high snap and over the head of Darbro. And he's pretty tall. Darbro goes back to the 1, has it knocked free. He recovers it in the end zone, and that should be a safety, shouldn't it?
It'll be a safety.
It is a safety for the D1 West. Their special teams really didn't necessarily do anything, D1 West, because the snap was so tall and over Darbro's head. Darbro did a good job to try to go get it, and it looked like he had it for a moment and then lost it. And then he was alert enough to regain control of it. Unfortunately for Darbro, he was in the end zone when he was tackled. And so it's a safety, but Darborough's hustle there at least saves you 4 points.
And Jonathan Mader was the one getting the pressure. That's why on a punt you always have to have one person, one rush in, getting to the punter just in case there is a bad snap. If you did not have that, he would have had all kinds of time to go get it and then be able to punt the ball. So coaching on special teams, always have one of your rush ins going all the way just in case there is a bad snap. So it'll be a safety, and there'll be a free kick from the 15-yard line. The players are a little confused, it looks like, as they're trying to figure out what's going to happen.
There's not a lot of safeties in 8-man football, so that's probably what they're going through here, is the D1 East will have to kick the ball away after giving up the safety. And so a special teams mistake there by the Blue All-Stars. And remember that these players come in on Tuesday, and they have so much practice time, but you don't have a lot of time to really focus on special teams and this, and that. I mean, they do. There's a focus on, don't get me wrong, but you only have so much time. And so sometimes we see in these games where there could be a breakdown in special teams or in regards to coverage, because what happens in 8-man football, and even 11-man too, is you're putting one of your faster, more athletic guys back to return a kick. And how many times have we seen teams over the years in high school football say, you know what, we're just going to kick it out of bounds. We don't even care. You can have it at the 30 or the 40, wherever it is. We're not going to let your best athlete get the ball in open field space. But I will say, in this game, you've got great athletes all over the field, so you would say it's less likely for a guy to break it for a touchdown.
And there's nothing like a smart coach kicking the ball out of bounds instead of kicking it to the state sprinter, and then the intelligent fans screaming at the idiot coach for kicking the ball out of bounds because they want it kicked to the state sprinter so he can return it for a touchdown. There's some interesting comments that come out of the crowd when you punt the ball out of bounds so the speed doesn't get it.
Well, and of course, if you have the guy that's really fast, you really are screaming at the other coach.
No, but it's
the guy.
No, but it's the offensive team that's doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I won't go any further on that.
No, I get it. I totally get it. All right, so here is the kickoff on the free kick from the 15. They could have punted it or kick it off a tee. Darborough, a nice boot all the way to the 17. Here on the return for the D1 West is Brock Keith of Meade, and he takes it to the near the midfield stripe at the 40. I'm marking about the 39, so that's where the D1 West will start. They strike first with, of all things, a safety on special teams. The high snap to the D1 East over the head of the punter, Lane Darborough. He went back and was able to eventually recover it, but was in the end zone, and it ends up being a safety. So the D1 West All-Stars with the early 2-0 lead.
There goes the shutout.
That's right. That's right. There's still one shutout possible, though. Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. The D1 West now navigating from left to right. They placed the ball at the 38 officially. 3-man offensive line, as it is an 8-man. Here's a throw over the middle, and it's a strike to Kidder, connect at the 5. Touchdown! A 42-yard strike on a perfect placement. Putting on a platter was Morgan, and the D1 West up 8-0 halfway through the first quarter of the D1 All-Star game.
We were watching him throw and warm up. First of all, he's 6'4", so he can see everything, and he just puts the ball right on the money. And you kind of had two receivers in the same area, which kind of makes me wonder if there was a wrong route ran. But Morgan knew where he was going with that, and that was a perfect pass to Kinderconnect.
Dusty said early in the week at practice he was the most impressive quarterback, and he was absolutely throwing dimes. Has nice touch. Now they run option. Trent Long, the quarterback, pitches near side. Good pursuit by the D1 East All-Stars, as it was Keith on the carry, but there to make the tackle for the D1 East was Dalton Morrison of Argonia, also their Jackson Risley of South Sumner. So the 2-point conversion fails, and now we have a more conventional score for an 8-man football game, although if they would have scored on the 2-point, we would have had a 10-0 game, which is very irregular for 8-man football, as is a 2-0 lead. Now it is 8-0 in favor of the D1 West. 5:55 to play first quarter. We welcome everybody across the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network. Wade Gerstner, Todd Clover with you here in the press box. Dusty Deines on the sidelines. Matthew Rice, our intern, learning the business so he can take over for us when we get old and fragile and retire and go to the home. All right, let's go over to Dusty, far side.
Cade Morgan with us, the quarterback from the Division I West squad. I saw you in practice dropping dimes this week, and that was one to Kinderconnect. What do you see on the play there and getting the big one?
Our coach, he's got a great offense set up for us. It's really simple. It's just we're putting guys in positions that they don't want to be in on defense and just hitting whoever's open.
A lot of guys you've had to play against in high school that you get to play with. What's this experience been like for you, and especially the start here getting up 6-8-0?
It's been great. This whole week it's been great. Great practices, great time hanging out in the dorms with the guys, the rec room, everything that they provided for us. we all had a bunch of fun this week, and we couldn't ask for a better start to this game, getting a safety and then just that touchdown right there to go up 8-0.
Caden Morgan from Lacrosse, thanks for the time, man.
You're welcome.
Caden Morgan at Lacrosse. Lacrosse went 6-4 this year. Todd mentioned 6'4". He could survey the field. Here is the kickoff, and on the return, and a little bit of daylight, then it's bouncing like a pinball on the return for the D1 East is Josiah Bonura. He's had 2 nice returns, so the D1 East will take over the ball at about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. But back to Morgan. This year, Morgan threw 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 1,300 yards passing, 700 yards rushing, 8 touchdown runs. He'll be going to Kansas Wesleyan to further his educational career, but that was a very nice pass right over the middle to Kinner Connect. Hit him in stride on the hands. Nice catch by Kinner Connect from Quinter. He's a 5'9", 160-pounder. Quinter lost in the first round of the playoffs this past year. So first down and 10 at the 31 for the D1 East, moving from right to left on your radio dial. Here is the handoff. It's quarterback Reed, and Wonderlick gives it to Massey. Massey just hasn't had any real estate to work with so far. Great job of the D1 West. Rodriguez is in there also, and on the stop was Mater. And also there was Ryder Dent, a gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Mater made the tackle on that kickoff return when it looked like maybe he was going to pop open and have a longer run, and then he made the initial hit on that play. So he is very active making tackles.
So second down and 9 for the D1 East. They trail 8-0, 5-12 and ticking. First quarter D1 8-man All-Star game at Trojan Field and Beloit. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Wonderlick is by himself in the backfield. The quarterback rolls right, shakes a tackle, sheds a second tackle, and now he's off to the races. Angles to the 30, the 25, gets a great block, far sideline 20, 15, 10, 5, cuts back, and he's in for a D1 East touchdown. What a run by Wonderlick from Central Burton. And he's able to navigate his way crisscross on the far side, get a couple great blocks at the touchdown run of 48 yards.
And there was 5 guys that looked like in the backfield or close to the line of scrimmage that had the ability to tackle him. And, Wade, that's what you said to start the game. That's the difference now in football at pretty much all levels. Even the NFL now is you got the quarterback that can make the defense pay with their leg, because that play was defended extremely well. There was nobody open. You had a pass rush, but the quarterback's just too athletic.
D1 East down 8-6 after the 48-yard scamper there by Wonderlick. East goes for 2. Brock Griffin in motion on the near side. They hand it off to Massey, and Jalen Massey is stopped. Now he just tried to pitch it forward because he knew he was toast, and he stopped shy of the goal line. 2-point conversion fails. D1 East is on the board. Much needed score in a very quickly manner as they scored very quickly after that touchdown by the D1 West on the pass to Kinner Connect from Caden Morgan, and now Wonderlick showing good patience there on the far side. Broke a couple tackles and then waited for a block, and then it's just great vision downfield. And so D1 East avoids a shutout as well, Todd. So there will be no shutout here in this first game.
There ain't going to be a shutout. Now you got those first couple drives out of the way, and now we've had a 7-second drive and a 51-second drive for a touchdown. So game on now.
Yes, game on. Well, we saw a couple penalties early in the game, and you're going to have to knock off some rust, no question. These kids haven't played for a long time. Let's go to Dusty on the sideline.
Jace Wonderlick with us, the quarterback from Central Burton for the East. Man, you hit that quick hitter on offense on your first play, and then he kind of stalled a little bit, but had that big touchdown run. What do you see on the edge there on that play?
They did a good job covering up our receivers, and just scrambled drill and just had to make a play.
You kind of been scrambling a lot so far here in this game. What does it take to have the intellect to be able to make those plays in that quick moment?
Just know that your teammates have your back when you start to run the ball, and that they're coming back to get someone.
What's been your favorite part of this week so far, man?
Probably just conjoining with all these boys and having a great time in the dorms at practice. It's just been a great week overall.
Jace, thanks for the time, and happy you had the chance here. Best of luck.
Thank you.
That was Jace Wonderlick. He's a little bit out of breath after making that long run, and rightfully so. And he's from Central Burton, and he had quite a year where he threw for over 1,400 yards, ran for 1,100 yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 22 rushing touchdowns.
I like his future plans.
Yeah, he's going to be cybersecurity. I'll tell you what, we need people from cybersecurity, there's no doubt about that.
Is that why he sounded so good in the interview? It sounded like he could talk.
Yes, he definitely did a nice job on the field and then on the sideline talking to Dusty. So 8-6, the D1 West All-Stars. There's a kickoff by Dogbro, and he went out of bounds at about the 2 So the penalty on the kickoff, second penalty on a kickoff we've seen so far here today, going out of bounds. This one further down the field than we had on the opening kickoff, which was an attempted onside kick for the D1 West All-Stars. So this, in 2001, is when we ended up having the two games. The West leads the all-time series 12-10. The West won the D1 game last year 28-22. There have been 2,640 players that participate in 8-man All-Star games over the course of the 39 years. And 38 of 40 of these players were on winning teams, and they made the playoffs. So these guys are used to some success, and now they're playing with the best of the best, and we've got a good one so far.
Well, the best athletes are probably why they're on winning teams.
Yep.
When you are one of the best athletes in the state, your team's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, Linden was a bit stacked this year. We'll talk about that when we get the opportunity. They have the state champs in D1 and went undefeated. Only had one close game all year long at the Chase County, 38-34. Here's Kinnerconnect, reverses field against the grain. Now let's see if he can turn the corner near side. He cannot. Outstanding tackle applied there by Carter Stansbury of Little River, 6 foot, 190-pounder, 87 tackles last year. Carter's going to be a farmer here coming out of high school, and there's no... we need people to provide food on our plate, no doubt about that. And I've always admired farmers. My dad's a farmer, and that was a nice tackle. It looked like a guy that could rope a steer and take him down.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, I'm a rancher as well, farmer, rancher, rodeo man. 1st and 10 for the D1 West. They lead 8-6, 4:47 to go first quarter. One receiver to the far side, Novotny from Skyline had a couple catches on the first drive. One receiver to the near side. That looks like it's Braden Bird of Meade. Morgan in the gun. Quick pass, swing pass to Kinnerconnect. Kinnerconnect breaks one tackle and now goes forward and nearly picked up a first down. A gain of 9 on a very short and safe pass from Morgan to Kinnerconnect, second short.
Kinnerconnect is pretty slippery out there. He has some juke moves, very hard to get a hold of for those guys in the secondary. He is really good at making the first guy miss. That's why they just snap the ball and throw it to him and say, hey, see if you can tackle him.
Kinnerconnect and Bird split to the near side. Novotny to the far side. 3 receivers set. Morgan, short drop, fires a laser. It's caught by Bird. Bird cuts back on the near side at the 38 in East Territory. Has a first down, a gain of about 4. That's all they needed. They keep the chains moving.
Keep the chains moving, and with the first 2 play calls of this drive, you don't have to worry about a pass rush.
That's right.
It's a shotgun snap, and the quarterback immediately is getting the ball out of his hands, and then yet the last drive, they run the deep post pattern. So they are attacking all levels of the field against this defense.
First down and 10 for the D1 West in the red uniforms, moving from left to right here at Trojan Field in Beloit. 3 receivers to the near side of the field, 1 to the far boundary. From the near hash mark at the 38, set to snap it is Brandon Price wearing 0. Don't see a center wearing 0 very often, or any football player wearing 0. Here's the snap. Morgan, quick pass, and is caught again on the far side. This time, hauling it in and it's going nowhere is Braden Bird. Gain of maybe half a yard.
What happens is that starts sucking that defense up. That secondary starts attacking those passes, and then instead of the screen and the guy that's doing the blocking, he's going to fake like he's blocking and go deep. So somebody has to stay disciplined in that secondary and stay back because the play is coming where they fake that screen and the blocker goes deep.
Jeremiah Prince and Micah Cawthor's in on that stop. Second down and 9 for the D1 West. In motion, Kinnerconnect, they fake it to him, little counter play, and it is read immediately. And being brought down the backfield, another outstanding play by Jackson Risley of South Sumner as he drops the running back in the backfield for a loss, as carrying the football was Brock Keith of Meade. He had no chance, a loss of 3.
Yeah, the running game, other than the quarterback scrambles, has been pretty much non-existent at this point because the defensive ends for both teams are getting into the backfield, and maybe the quarterback probably could have kept that and had good yards.
Todd, that was the first run by the West in this game. 7 passes. That was their first run. So they've been pass happy, but they've been throwing short passes, which is a lot of people tell you nowadays that's just an extension of the running game. It's in essence the running game. The short passes that are safe and quick. You don't have to worry about getting hit as a quarterback because you unleash it so quickly. So a timeout has been called by the D1 West All-Stars to talk some things over. as the D1 Red, the West leads the D1 East, the Blue, 8-6, 2:32 to go here in the first quarter of play. Coming up later, it will be the Division II game at 1:30, pregame at 1 o'clock on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. We were talking about Linden and how great they were this year, 13-0, undefeated state champions. Oh, let's see. So they have Jalen Massey, that's head coach's son. He's going to play football at Washburn. Caston Worth, he is going to play football at Butler Community College. He is on this team. Gil Anschutz is an 8-Man All-Star as well. And there's two guys for Linden that aren't 8-Man All-Stars because they're not allowed to play in this game. Caden Massey is going to Kansas State University, and Tanner Heckel, who had an incredible season last year. He ran for 2,300 yards, threw for 100, 19 touchdown passes, ran for 50 scores, 69 touchdowns total for Tanner Heckel. He's going to Illinois. So not too often to see two D1 guys, then a couple of D2 guys / community college guys on the same team as a pass over the middle intended for Kinderconnect, and the D1 East has that well covered. And Morgan's being pressured in the backfield there by, once again, it was Risley, and also in the backfield was Micah Conthers of Chase County, and Morgan had to unload it quickly, and it'll be 4th down and 12. That's the first incomplete pass of the game for Caden Morgan. He was a perfect 7 of 7 to start the game. But you've got two D1 guys. You've got one that's going D2, another guy going community college, and another that's an all-star. Coach Massey said first year as a head coach, he just moved up from assistant head coach. He said all I had to do was not screw it up and tell them run fast and score. And that's what they did a lot this past year. Here's the punt is taken by Von Ura, breaks the first tackle, and then dives forward to the 16. Boy, he has been a spark plug in the return game for the D1 East. That was a great punt inside the 5, and Von Ura decided to field it. Almost got dropped right there and would have had his team pinned back, but broke that initial tackle. And the D1 East will start this possession at their own 16-yard line from the near hash mark, moving to our left.
Yeah, Heckel had quite the year, but he had quite the guys in the front blocking for him. I know Massey was it was quite the recruiting process. I know the family extremely well, and there was a lot of great programs that wanted him to come in and be an offensive tackle.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near boundary. Wunderlich alone in the gun on 1st down and 10. Low snap being chased, gets away from the rusher on the edge, and Wunderlich is chopped down low at the knees. A gain of 3 to the 19. And Wunderlich did a great job of avoiding the pass rush off the left end. Peter Krause of Rollins County nearly had a sack.
Yeah, and Wyatt Gardner out of Wichita County makes an open field tackle. So, yeah, immediate pressure on the quarterback. So that nobody designed to block the defensive end, and that's a really good defensive end that you're turning free in Krause, because he's been in the backfield since the game started. And look at him out there. He's just walking around. He can't wait for the ball to be snapped. Look at him.
He is chomping at the bit. 2nd down and 7 at the 19. Middle of the field, the ball was placed by the official. D1 East in the blue uniforms, trailing 8-6. Twins to the far side, 1 receiver to the near. Wunderlich, once again, alone in the backfield. Massey in motion to the near. It is Wunderlich being chased, throws off his back foot across the middle of the field. That's a dangerous pass. Mahomes and some guys can get away with that. Don't know about this level, and it's incomplete. Lucky it wasn't intercepted. Once again, there was pressure as the pass fell incomplete at the 35.
Yeah, that's the one difference I'm seeing in these two teams right now. The West team is able to get pressure on the quarterback. We haven't really seen that go the other way, where you can get pressure on the quarterback, and a lot of times that can determine who wins these ball games. So going to have to do a better job of picking up some of these blitzes, and sometimes the 2 plays ago there was nobody to block Krause on the play because the running back goes out and the guard on that side is occupied with somebody to block. So it's just the play is designed to have to get the ball out quick.
3rd down and 7, D1 East, minute 17 to go first quarter. D1 West leading 8-6. 1 receiver flanked to the far side, Twins to the near. Empty backfield, Wunderlich in the gun, has some time. Fires across the field, a short pattern to the receiver. Making the catch for a short pickup is Micah Conthers of Chase County, the tight end. A gain on the play of 4.
Gardner again with the tackle, and this is going to be a little bit different. If you were keeping track of tackles, you're going to be like, well, where's your defensive linemen and linebackers making tackles? Well, the tackles are going to be made by the secondary. Why? Because every play is a pass play. So it's the guys in the secondary that are around the ball once it's caught to make the tackle. So if you're a middle linebacker in this game, you're like, yeah, man, that wasn't a whole lot of fun. I'm in pass coverage the whole game. All I'm doing is running around the field. Don't have anybody to hit or tackle.
D1 East run the ball 8 times, 4 passes. The D1 West 8 passes, only 1 run.
And that 1 run was a pretty
3.
big loss, so
yes,
we probably saw our 1 run. We're going to see this.
Could be. 4th down and 3. The D1 East goes for it, and jumping is Cothers. They were going on a long count, and it got their own guy. Cothers takes off before everybody else. Pretty easy call for the official to make. And so instead of 4th and 3, it's 4th and 8. They were trying to draw them off sides, and now more than likely they'll punt, but we shall see. Yeah, going out there is Madison Darbro, number 88, 6'2", 210. He is the punter for D1 East, and for the D1 East's sake, you hope this snap is better than the first one tonight or today that went over his head. That is a good one. Here is the punt. Line drive kick. That is very returnable at the 31-yard line. With it for the D1 Red is Brock Keith, and now he reverses field to the near side. Tries to turn the corner, tight ropes the near sideline, and is taken out of bounds at the 29. There is a flag on the far side at the 31, more than likely an illegal block on the return, especially when it was designed to go left, and then the returner cuts back to the other side of the field. How many times you see
changes those angles?
Yeah.
Yep. You saw the same thing, and the crazy thing about it is it's clear on the opposite side of the field behind the play, going to have nothing to do, and that's why in practice when you're working on special teams, you try and teach the kids just don't block if you're not involved in the play.
Let's go down to the sideline of Dusty.
Hill City's Jaden Nuss with us here. Jaden, you're off to a good start. You know, the defense is 2 big plays for their team, but otherwise you've been able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. What are you seeing on the line and being able to get back there?
I've had a little bit of trouble with the grass is slick. But Brian's interception, I was really pleased with that. I was able to get back there, get some pressure on the quarterback, and I know he tried to get that out pretty fast because he saw me coming up there, and Brian was able to get to the ball and intercept it, so that was a big momentum boost, and that was pretty nice.
You listened to Coach Ayers last night, lifting up your teammates, right? How fun has it been to play with these guys?
It is absolutely amazing to be on the field with 20 passionate guys, and everybody cares about the game just as much as I do.
How cool is it to have Coach Davian here with you?
Oh, it's awesome. One more game with him, and I'm super excited about that.
Jaden Nuss from Hill City. Appreciate the time, man. Best luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, these kids do a pretty good job on those interviews on the sideline, too, and we appreciate them doing that. 1st down and 10 for the D1 West after the penalty on the return moves them back. So they will start at their own 33 from the near hash mark. And little shovel, that should be a pass. That should count as a pass and not a run. If he did what the Chiefs do with Mahomes, they just flip it forward, that should be a pass. That's exactly what the D1 West is saying. That is a pass.
Yeah, it
should be.
And the coaches are telling them, no, that's not a fumble. It's a pass 100% of the time. And the offensive coaches are saying, no, you guys got that wrong. And now the linesman's running in after he's been told that they got the call wrong, and they're going to get together and realize that they didn't get the call right, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Should just be incomplete pass.
I hope that's what they come up with because that's what it should be.
Well, that's what it is. But whether they get it right or not, we'll find out. The officials, good time to mention their names. Hopefully they get it right, so they'll sound really good. Dylan Provost, Zeke Haig, James Gerritsen, Easton Burton, and Mark Zabanicki are our officials for the 8-man All-Star Games today. We appreciate them taking their time to be here on a June day, a Saturday, June the 8th. But that is the play. If you watch the Chiefs games many, many times, it is how many times has Mahomes ended up picking up a 1-yard touchdown pass where the guy goes in motion, Mecole Hardman or Tyreek Hill back in the day, he flips it forward, and if it's dropped, it's an incomplete pass. And the officials are going to say it's D1 East football, but I don't want to be too cruel to the officials. I appreciate everything they're doing, but that's not the right call.
And that's why instead of on that reverse, they used to hand it off, so you don't have to worry about the mesh on the handoff and a possible fumble. You flip it because if you mess it up then, it's still your ball. So,
except in this case it wasn't.
Exactly.
They missed that one. So the D1 East will take over at the D1 West 33, and I think that's a situation maybe some of these officials haven't seen that play very often either. I mean, initially you think fumble. That's your initial reaction, but it's a forward pass. But that's not what the officials called, and now Wonderlick, quarterback, takes it to the running back, right up the middle. Wonderlick at the 5, angling, and inside the pylon for the touchdown. The D1 East takes advantage of the call by the officials. They get the turnover, and it's a 33-yard run to pay dirt for Chase Wonderlick. D1 East leads 12-8.
The quarterback and his ability to run in the run game, and then on the first touchdown earlier in the game on his scramble when it looked like the defense had everything covered. That has been really 2 plays has been the difference so far. It's really, the game has kind of been controlled by the D1 West, but it's 2 plays, and that's 8-man football. It's about big plays.
D1 East going for 2. They now lead for the first time, 12-8, 42 seconds go first quarter. 2 receivers left, 1 flank to the right. Wonderlick once again, empty backfield. Has some time. He throws, and the pass is tipped, and that might have saved 2 points. Well done there by Wyatt Gardner in Wichita County at the left outside linebacker spot. So the D1 East takes advantage of the turnover that all of us agree should not have been a turnover. It was a forward pass. It's just that it looks like it's just a push pass is all it is, forward a yard. Like I said, if you watch Chiefs football, and you see this in college too, how many times has Mahomes got a touchdown pass? Some people even made fun of Mahomes. Oh, yeah, he pads his stats because he flips the ball forward and he let Tyreek Hill or McCole Hardman or Kadarius Toney or even Travis Kelce just run it into the end zone, and all he's got to do is, like, push it forward, like a little, not even a pop pass. It's just a little push forward, and if he drops it, no harm, no foul. But in that case, the officials deemed it was a fumble, and the D1 East, as the West is wondering what just happened, they hit him with a haymaker, and now they're up 12-8.
Oh, and that's why the old-timers will say, well, he threw for 45, 48 touchdown passes. Well, no, he actually threw for probably 35, and 12 or 13 of them were the extended run plays that, the old-timers will say aren't even legitimate pass plays. But, it's just a stat. All that matters is you put points on the board. But sorry for our listeners, don't know who got the recovery on that because I wasn't even looking because it really wasn't a recovery.
Well, yeah, we were like, it's a complete pass. So the turnover, both teams have had a turnover. The D1 West has interception by Brian Rodriguez earlier, and then the D1 East then taking advantage of the fumble that really wasn't. But like I said, everybody makes mistakes. It's all good. We make mistakes up here in the booth all the time. And it's an all-star game, so it's not like, your chances of going on in the playoffs are riding on anything here, luckily. Here is the kickoff from right to left. It's a good boot, and then caught in the end zone by Brock Keith of Meade. So a touchback, and the D1 West will have it at the 15-yard line with 42 seconds to play first quarter. And the D1 East Blue All-Stars 12, D1 West All-Stars, the Red, 8. They led 8-0. D1 East with 12 unanswered on touchdown runs of 48 and 33 yards by Jace Wonderlick.
Yeah, and here's how you know you're an 8-man All-Star game. The scoring drives are 7, 9, and 54 seconds.
That's pretty quick. We'll go to Dusty after this play. Trio receivers bunched to the near side. One receiver flanked to the left. That is Gage Burke of La Crosse. His teammate, Caden Morgan, from La Crosse Leopard days, is the quarterback. As Caden is looking at his play sheet on his left forearm. Empty backfield. And here's a quick swing pass. Here's one of those short passes you're talking to. Kid Connect makes a couple of moves and picks up close to a first down. Let's go to the sideline and Dusty.
Caleb Anschutz with us from Linden High School. Caleb, an opportunity for you to play in this game. Took a little bit for the offensive line maybe to get yourself and your bearings. They were putting on some good pressure, but you've been able to get a couple big runs for touchdowns. What are you seeing out there today?
Yeah, it took us a little bit to figure it out, but now we know what they're doing and we know what to do. And I think we got it down pretty good, and we're going to score a lot more touchdowns. So,
how tough is it to go against the speed of that defensive line over there?
Their nose guard's pretty fast, and they're all physical, and they're all athletes. So, yeah, it's tough, but we can do it. So
we'll run one play here.
Second down and 1. They swing it again, this time to the far side, and it is Kinder Connect. He's brought down. He's able to pick up a first down, but there's a penalty mark on the play. We'll go back to Dusty.
And Caleb Anschutz from Linden High School. Hey, you got an opportunity to not only play with a couple players on your team here with Massey as well, and then Coach Massey's here for you too. And what's this experience been like just to be able to share it with guys from your hometown?
It just makes it even funner. Knowing guys, and we've been here before, and we're also like me and everybody else and making more friends, so it's pretty fun.
Caleb Anschutz from Linden, thanks, man, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
So they are sorting things out on the penalty flag that was thrown. Officials have a conversation.
I didn't see holding, face mask. I'm not sure. The umpire threw it. The umpire is the one that stands behind the linebackers, and he had a good view of what was going on.
As it stands now, Kinder Connect with a short pickup that should have enough for a first down. In fact, it does. Be a pickup of 3 as they continue to go that swing pass at Kinder Connect or to Bird and then try to take their deep shot down the middle of the field, which they connected with Kinder Connect for 42 yards earlier in the game for the only touchdown for the West. The West scored the first points on a safety on a high snap over the head of the D1 East punter, Darbrough. He recovered it in the end zone, but it was a safety. D1 West led 2-0, and then the pass to Kinder Connect from Morgan made it 8-0. D1 East has recovered and scored 12 unanswered. Wonderlic with touchdown runs of 48 and 32. It is a hold on the D1 West All-Stars. And so the D1 East would be smart to accept it. Otherwise, it would be a first down for the D1 West.
Yeah, it's just a push in the back on the play. So I don't know why we had to have a conference and then go to the sidelines and explain it. Let's just call it and go, fellas.
So move it all the way back from the spot of the foul back to the 12.5-yard line. So D1 West faced with a second down and long. Novotny, a tall target at 6'4", split wide to the near sideline. From the far hash mark, ball is snapped, little shovel to the right side, and some running room here for the D1 West as it is Logan Meyer of Lincoln, just 30 miles south of here. And he has a nice pickup to the 39, dropped there by the D1 East Andrew Smith of Little River. In fact, it's enough for a first down.
Yep, big play. You know, the best official I ever had work was Lindy Lindblad that I work with now, and he would just come to me as a captain and said, "Hey, it was a hold. You want it, right?"
Right.
He wouldn't even give you the option. He says, "You want it, right?" Well, yeah. He's like, "Let's just cut to the chase. You want it, right?"
18-yard pickup on that little flip on the pitch to Meyer. First down and 10, D1 West to get the snap off before the end of the first quarter. A lob pass to the near side and just over the outstretched hands of Novotny. Smith might have had a little tug of the jersey, but had nice coverage to Andrew Smith. There's two Smiths on that roster for D1 East. Alex Smith of South Sumner, Andrew Smith of Little River. That brings us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a good one so far. D1 East 12, the D1 West 8, 8-man Division I All-Star Game. Second quarter when we return after this 1-minute timeout. This is the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Remus Farms in Concord City is a proud supporter of the area athletes in this year's 8-man All-Star Games. They want to congratulate all the players on a great career. Remus Farms Chemical and Fertilizer is your wholesale fertilizer dealer in Kansas. They wish the best to all the young men playing in today's games and give a special shout-out to the athletes from North Central Kansas, including Lakeside's Ian Christine, Nathan Goheen and Doak Guttery of Osborne, and Chancellor Mark from St. John's Tipton. Good luck, All-Stars, from Remus Farms LLC in Concord City.
Success is not given. It has to be earned. It takes grit, a relentless pursuit of your passion, the courage to commit to the daily grind to perfect the skills needed to become a leader in your field. The path to success is different for everyone, but those with grit stand out from the crowd. And at NCK Tech, you can too. They train you, test you, and give you the tools to be successful. All you need is a place to grow your grit. Visit nckTC.edu and learn more. Schedule a campus visit today. Grow your grit, NCK Tech.
Wade Gerstner, Todd Clover, back with you up in the press box. Dusty Deines patrolling the sidelines. And Matthew Rice, our intern, helping us out as well here today as we get set for the second quarter of action. 8-man Division I All-Star Game here in Beloit at Trojan Field. And the D1 East All-Stars, the blue uniforms, they lead the D1 West in the red. 12-8 is our score after one quarter of play. D1 West with 100 yards of offense. The D1 East with 84. Each team committed a turnover.
And if the D2 coaches are listening, don't plan on getting here for the start at 1:30 because that was a record time for the first quarter. This is going to be one long football game.
It is Morgan in the gun. Sprint option right now. He wants to throw at the last minute. Throwing deep far sideline. Oh, what an adjustment and hauling it in with a terrific catch for the D1 West is Brock Keith of Meade. What a catch as he twisted his body. Great coverage on the far side. Again, all the way down to the 19. It's a pickup of 31.
And that's just an example that we talked about to start the game. If putting athletes in positions, quarterback just throws it up. Was he covered? You would think back in the old days, they never make that pass because he literally is not open. It's perfect coverage. But you understand now, you got great athletes that can adjust and go get the ball, and that's exactly what the receiver did in Keith on the play and kept his feet in bounds right along the sideline.
Well, the idea was a quarterback to make it look like a run, a sprint option to the right, and then at the last minute kind of throw the deep ball. And that was well covered. Nobody bid on that, and yet Keith made an outstanding catch. Two receivers left, one to the right. Here's Morgan, quarterback keep all the way, and he is dropped at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4 for Morgan. Over there was Andrew Smith for the D1 East. Also there was Carter Stansbury of Little River, second down at 6.
Yeah, good support on the inside from the linebackers on the play, and that just kind of keeps them honest. Instead of wanting to get out in pass coverage, you sneak that quarterback with kind of a draw up the middle.
So second down and 6 for the D1 West. They trail 12-8. We welcome everybody listening on 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network on our affiliates across the state of Kansas. Pair of receivers slotted to the left. Check that 3 now to the left side of the field. D1 West moving to our left in the second quarter. Have the ball at the 16. Morgan has some time, steps up in the pocket, and slings it wide of his target. He was trying to go far sideline at the 5-yard line on an out to Gage Burke, his teammate from La Crosse, but they were not really on the same page. Incomplete pass brings up third down and manageable 6.
I thought you were going to say throwing to the camera gal over there because he almost was able to catch that pass. So I think maybe he threw that away, but that one wasn't covered near as well as the deep ball.
Head coach Michael Massey for D1 East, Derek Budke, Tyler O'Connor, the assistants, Travis Dabian, head coach Hill City, Coley Hamill of Lincoln, assistant, Rollins County's Aaron Trummick is the other assistant for the D1 West. They trail 12-8. 2 receivers near side of the field. Kidder Connect is in the slot. He's had a lot of action with 4 catch, 61 yards today. Here's Morgan. Short drop. He throws, crossing to the near side. Might have been a bit of a pick play. And wide open for a touchdown is Keith of Meade. A 15-yard touchdown connection. And the D1 West back on top, 14-12 with 10:47 to go in this first half.
It's certainly the results. Look, I didn't see it. I don't know if you saw it. But anytime you got a guy going over the middle right towards the linebackers who are in coverage, and then you drag a running back out, what you do offensively is you tell that guy going inside to run right at that linebacker, and then at the last second jump out of his way. But the linebacker never got out in coverage. That was we could have scored on that one, Wade.
D1 West, Trent Long is in to run the 2-point conversion at quarterback. He keeps it. And he is dropped. The Eagle plays for Coach Steinbach. Clifton Clyde is stopped shy of the goal line for the 2-point conversion. So we haven't seen either team make a 2-point conversion. 10:47 to go, first half. It is the D1 West 14, the D1 East 12. This is the 39th annual 8-Man All-Star Games on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. Our affiliates include right here KD Country 94 in Glen Elder, Beloit, Kansas. KR 92 in Belleville, 95.5 FM KNDY Marysville, 98.9 FM, 1540 AM KMCP in McPherson, 99.3 FM, 1370 AM Coyle in Iowa, 92.3 FM, 1510 AM KLQR in Larned. Affiliates across the state of Kansas bringing you the 8-Man All-Star Games. And if you really want some extended information, visit 8manallstars.com. Big thanks to our sponsors locally here, Central Valley Ag, the Brush Group in Downs, Cunningham Fiber, the Schooler Company Downs, Guaranty State Bank and Trust Company, Thompson OK Tire in Beloit, Remus Farms Chemical and Fertilizer, NCK Tech College, Miller Welding in Downs, and NCKSports.com. Division II game supposed to start at 1:30. Pregame at 1. Might get backed up like it did a year ago if this game runs long. We've had a lot of passes in the game, but not many incompletions. In fact, there have been 16 passes attempted in this game, and only 3 have hit the turf. There was 1 interception.
But when you're going out of bounds because you're throwing it out to the outside and you're picking up first downs off of one play, the clock's stopping all the time and not running. And that's why I'm saying that the next game, my first prediction of the day, will not start at 1:30.
You can get here early anyway.
Well, yeah, you should already be here. Watch the doubleheader.
Get your money's worth and get 2 games for the price of 1. Here is the kickoff by Heischel. Is a left-footed kicker. High boot taken at the 1. And here on the return, and nothing is doing. Great coverage by the West as they swarm the returner. Rodriguez is there along with many others, as Tucker Grove, Chase County, had nowhere to roam. Also, Jaden Nuss of Hill City on the coverage for the D1 West, and Gage Burke of La Crosse.
Well, let's see now defensively for the West what their response is for trying to stop the quarterback scramble, the quarterback run game, because that's really been 2 plays that have hurt them defensively. Other than that, the defense has had this offense under control in this game. But that's 8-man football. It's a quarterback that can make you miss a tackle, and he's off for long runs.
Tucker Groves flanked to the near side of the field. D1 East going left to right. 3 receivers to the far side. And here's Wunderlich. He's got to throw it, and he just avoids a safety. Coming off the edge was Krause again, and if Wunderlich doesn't throw that ball, at least right there to the intended target at the last moment, that is a safety as he came free off the edge once again did Krause.
and they also blitzed the middle linebacker. So they brought one more person than was blockers available on the play. So the quarterback had to get rid of the ball quickly, and, of course, you know who's going to get there. You've got to get someone blocking Krause. But he lines up so wide, it's so hard to get the right guard out there to block him.
Okay, we'll go to Dusty after this play. Second down and 10 at the 7 for the D1 East. They trail 14-12 here in the first half. Give on a little counter. No, Wonderlick keeps it as he faked the counter, and Wonderlick is dropped after a short gain to the 9. Pickup of 2 for Wonderlick. Let's go to Dusty.
Brock Keith from Meade with us here. You've had a couple of really big plays on that last drive, a good bounce back after a tough break on the fumble and then them scoring. What's the chemistry been like, and what did the East give you on that touchdown play?
Oh, I mean, our chemistry is amazing. I mean, we've all of us go into the same room. You know, we play games. We've been doing some shenanigans, and the East. I got to give credit to my line and wide receivers on those blocks because they're in a good position, and they just let me score, and they give me the. Yeah, that's it.
We'll keep it here. We're going to run play.
D1 East third down and 8 from their own 9. Moving to our right. Wonderlick has time, throws over the middle, knocked away. Terrific defensive play is coming through and knocking it to the turf was Heischel from his corner position. And that was good coverage. Is trying to go Brock Griffin across the middle from Chase County. Back to Dusty.
Yeah, Brock, what's it been like with Morgan? You play against these guys all through your career, but actually to have him on your team, and obviously he's got a gun, doesn't he?
He does, it's definitely. It's been amazing, We've been working on past plays all week. He just throws dots, right into the pocket. So I appreciate that, and, yeah.
I know you're going to have to get back on offense. Appreciate the time. Best luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's Darbro, the punter from Madison. Low line drive kick, had a little bit of pressure, but got it away. Picked up on a bounce by Kinnerneck from Quinter. He angles far side, and then is met and dropped by Cothers at the 35. So the D1 West will have prime real estate at the D1 East in their territory at the 35-yard line with 9:27 to go first half. And the D1 West leading D1 East 14-12.
Heischel on that coverage played that extremely intelligent on that. And when I look to see what his future plans are, aerospace engineer.
That sounds difficult for me, so I'll let him handle that.
So I don't think he's going to get beat in coverage from knowing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yes, there's some smart kids out here, no doubt about it.
Formation.
First down and 10. 3 receivers, trips to the near side. Morgan, empty backfield again. Has time. Now he throws and puts it on the money. There's the dot. And guess who? Brock Keith is the recipient. Touchdown for the D1 West, a 36-yard strike.
Yeah, I was looking and saw both the receivers split out over here. We're on the line of scrimmage, so I thought a flag was going to come out. That's why I said formation before the play, but evidently the officials saw it differently than I did, and if they're checking, they were okay.
So a 36-yard touchdown strike, and Morgan just stepped up in the pocket, kind of lunged forward, and we're just hearing from one of his teammates about how accurate he is, and he puts the ball, he called them dots. That was a dot. Man, that kid is very accurate throwing the football. So it is 20-12 now in favor of the D1 West, and they will go for 2, place the football at the far hash mark. Trent Long is the 2-point quarterback, apparently. He is from Clifton Cloud. Here comes a blitz. Long rolls right. Now he wants to throw, and incomplete. It went right through the hands of Kinderconnect. He should have caught that. He knows it. Long put it on his hands and through his hands and intercepted there in the back, but it doesn't matter because it's just a 2-point. You can't return it. And once again, 2-point conversion fails, and it's still a one-possession game. D1 West 20 to D1 East 12. So a touchdown 2-point conversion would knock this thing up. Well, for a Saturday in June, sometimes it can be very, very hot. It is a little bit muggy and humid. I totally get that. But still only 77 degrees, and we're expecting a high about 84. We've had years where it's about 95 to 100 for that second game.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No, we do not. We do not. Well, we thank everybody for all of their help in putting the 8-man All-Star games together. It takes a village of people, as they say, to put things and organize things and handle different duties and to delegate. And that's true of our radio station, but also it's true of those that are putting on the 8-man All-Star games here in Beloit. Beloit's hosted these games since 1986, the first year. Then eventually they went to 2 games in 2001, and the young men have had a great time again this week, and certainly they will remember if they won or lost the game, but they remember the memories even more so. We talked about Travis Dabian. He played this game in 2007. Tyler O'Connor, Mountain Ridge assistant coach on the East, he played in this game in 2009, and they've been telling us, we remember those relationships, still have relationships with some of those people I played with. Sometimes it's your rival you can't stand during the season. And here's the kickoff, and it's off the helmet there, misjudging it, and then going out of bounds, but in the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, as it was Tucker Groh just misjudged that fly ball, as you could say, there on the kickoff. So D1 East will have the football trailing 20-12. Aaron Schramek of Rollins County, his son played in this game in 2017.
Well, and the special teams is coming up big right now. It's the ability to kick. It's the safety that they got, and now backing the opponents up about the 7-yard line to start the last drive, and now you kick it into the end zone, so it should be starting at the 15 here. The defense needs to back up a little bit. There you go.
They would like it for them to start at the 10 or the 5. Trent along the Clifton Clyde out of linebacker position. Ryder Denell Sleen, another middle backer. First and 10 for the East. Low snap. Wunderlich throws. Has a man wide open. And the catch is made by Castenworth, and he has a big gain to the D1 West 20. Nudged out of bounds there. He would have scored a touchdown. A pickup on the play of 35.
Yeah, just use his speed to run away from the defender, and it looked like when the ball was thrown, it could be a touchdown, but good job by Long getting back in the play and just getting his head and shoulders in there to knock down the ball carrier.
Yeah, Trent Long, a Clifton Clyde, 5'9", 175-pounder, undecided future plans, like to play ball at the next level. He saved the touchdown with that hustle. First and 10 for the D1 East in West Territory at the 30, moving to our right. Here is the give to Massey, and Massey with his best run of the day, he's able to stutter step and pick up 5 to the 25. Actually, I'll move it back to the 26. So his knee was down there. A gain of 4 for Massey. Massey carrying the football, 4 carries for 11 yards. Jalen Massey ran for 1,300 yards and 19 touchdowns for the undefeated 8-man Division I state champion Linden Tigers.
Wyatt Gardner out of Wichita County with another tackle.
And that was the state championship matchup, Wichita County versus
probably not the first time that's happened.
No. Second down and 6, ball placed in the middle of the field. Moving to our right. D1 East in the blue uniforms. One receiver flank left. Is Wunderlich, quarterback keep all the way. Comes to the near side, turns the corner, and has a first down. Scampers out of bounds at the 14. Pick up a 12 for Wunderlich as Dent was able to chase him out of bounds.
There was some crazy Linden stats this year. It was like maybe in the first half or, third quarter when it's called, whenever it was, they had ran 14 plays and 11 of them were touchdowns.
You have a good chance to win when you do that.
What happened? So not too many tackles.
First down and 10 at the 14 from the near hash for the D1 East. Michael Massey, coach of Linden, said at the luncheon on Wednesday, he said, I just gave the ball to one of my guys. I said, run fast and score. And he said, many times that's exactly what happened. Quarterback read option, and it's a handoff to the running back straight ahead, Massey of Linden, and he has stood up and pushed back. A gain of just 1 with the forward progress is there for the D1 West. Jonathan Mader of Hoxie, Wyatt Gardner, Wichita County again on the stop against Jalen Massey. Second down and 9 at the 13.
Seen a little bit of a mix here, looking good offensively for the East squad. He hit the big pass play and now doing some good things in the run game. We haven't really seen a whole lot of the run game other than some scrambles by quarterback.
7:43 to play in this first half, 20-12. D1 West with the lead. D1 East with the football, driving in the red zone at the 13. Play action. Wunderlich over the middle, has a man open, jump ball, and it's hauled in by Cothers. There's a flag on the play, but I think that'll be defensive pass interference, and Cothers just went up and caught it over the DB, much like David Tyree did in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, and I believe this will stand as a 13-yard touchdown pass.
And once again, good coverage, but it's just a better play offensively, just going up and getting it.
Yeah, it was good coverage. A little bit of pass interference because the DB had his back to the quarterback, so he couldn't really see the ball. And we talked about the touch by Caden Morgan across throwing the pigskin, but Todd, that was a pretty nice touch by Wunderlich.
That was a nice touch. Very nice touch. Who caught that? Who was the receiver?
Micah Cothers, tight end.
Okay.
And we have a timeout on the field called by the D1 East. Gives us a chance to catch our breath here. 7:29 to go first half. D1 West 20, D1 East 18, and the D1 East has a chance to tie it up at 20, pending the upcoming 2-point conversion.
Who's going to get the first PAT? Dusty and I talk about this all the time when we think it's going to be a close 8-man game, which doesn't happen very often at all, is who's going to get the point after touchdowns, because that quite often can decide. Because, when you're scoring 7, 8, 9 touchdowns, are you going to get 2 points or are you going to get 0 points? And when that happens 8 or 9 times, sometimes you can actually score more touchdowns than your opponent in a high-scoring game and get beat because you're not good at point after touchdowns. So, at the high school level, you really have to work on your point after touchdown defense so that you can get those stops so that you only give up 6 instead of 8, because when you're scoring in the 40s, 50s, 60s, those stops mean everything.
The other thing in 8-man football is no lead is safe. Momentum can change very quickly. We've seen that many times on a state title game a few years ago. And speaking of that, how about the Royals last night? The Royals are down 7-0 before they even came to the plate. I gave up on them. I ain't going to lie. I was doing other stuff and getting ready for the 8-man games, and all of a sudden I got a notification that says Royals win 10-9. I'm like, what? The Royals scored 3 in the ninth. They were down 7-0 after the first half inning. They're down 8-0 in the fourth inning. But that just goes to show you never give up. And that's the same thing that applies to these 8-man all-stars. We've seen teams make some comebacks in these games, and sometimes one team wears down a little bit and that allows the other team to come back. Because remember, this is our first football game since November or October for many of these guys. So the D1 East, 4 receivers set, in motion Massey, a fake it to him, one that keeps it, trying to fight for that 2-point conversion, but he will not get there. A barrier of defenders in front of him as the D1 West comes up with a huge stop on the 2-point play, as it was Ryder Dent that was there, also Christopher Michelle, Wichita County in on the tackle, and the D1 East is denied the 2-point try to tie the game at 20. So as a result, D1 West maintains the advantage at 20-18 with 7:29 to play here in this first half. D2 game coming up later today at about 1:30 will be the kickoff, might be a little bit later, and the pregame around 1 o'clock. The Jerry Slayton Inspirational Award, Josiah Bonura of Caraparavel, representing D1, won that award. That was announced last night, and Joseph Anderson of Santana was the D2 recipient. And Dusty, you were there last night, and once again, that's always a very important award, and it means a lot. Jerry Slayton, who did so much for 8-man football, the Inspirational Award going to those 2 individuals.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see that get handed out and see the respect that the teammates have for those guys that do win those awards. Jerry Slayton was he was very instrumental in starting these games back in 1986 and had just an unreal program at Hanston and had a lot of guys that played on these teams and was always a major supporter of every kid that played in these 8-man all-star games. So it is a true honor to win that award, and I think the kids understand that based on, Don Melby always talks about them at the banquet and makes sure they understand what that means. And it is cool to see them do that, and their teammates lift them up when they win it.
So a difference in the football game right now, the D1 West had a safety to start the game. That's the difference right now. 2 points, 20-18. D1 East to kick off. It will be Darbro to do it again. Off the tee from the 30. High kickoff. Angling at the goal line, and they let him return it. And this is Kinnerconnect, and there's nowhere to go. They have pinned him down against the far boundary. And so the D1 West will have poorer field position inside their own 10 as Darbro, the kicker, actually hustling down, helped to make that tackle. Also Cothers and Brock Griffin in on coverage as well. So the D1 West will start at their own 9, their worst field position of the game so far, leading by 2.
And the key to that coverage, Wade, was what you said, high kick, and that gives you time to get down there and cover the kick.
And he also placed it pretty well, angling it to the far side.
Yep, so you didn't have much field to have to cover.
Morgan keeps it. An option look, but he kept it. And to the 15, running to the right, is Morgan. A pickup of 6. And on the tackle for the D1 East was Jalen Massey. Also over there for the D1 East was Carter Stansbury of Little River. Morgan, his second carry of the game, 2 carries for 10 yards. Morgan throwing the football, throwing for 167 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 to Brock Keith of Meade and 1 to Trace Kinnerconnect of Quinter. Second down and 4, rolling right, Morgan. looking to heave it deep down the field, far side, has a man, and it's just over the outstretched arms of his high school teammate, Gage Burke, at the 25. Pretty good coverage applied there by Tucker Grove, Chase County.
Brooke did a good job of continuing to run the route. A lot of times when you see it's overthrown by a yard, it's actually an accurate pass, but the receiver quits running on the play. He gets his arms up too early, and he loses all his speed, and that was really a good job on the play on the route, just a little bit overthrown.
So 3rd down and 4 for the D1 West at their own 15, moving from right to left, a 3-by-1 look. And now in motion is Keith. Keeping it is Morgan. Morgan bounces, gets a block on the edge to seal it by Kinner-Connect, and Morgan has a first down at the 27. A gain of 12 on 3rd and 4, but Kinner-Connect created that seal block that allowed Morgan to turn upfield.
And did a good job of moving his feet laterally just a little bit so he was squared up on the block as he's cracking back on the play.
Now let's go down to Dusty.
Mike Cother's with us from Chase County. You had a big touchdown there to get your team back within 2 here. What are you seeing from that defense that's getting you open?
I mean, they're really low in that box, which leaves nobody back there at a safety. So we run deep and we got the right matchup, and it seems like that will happen for us.
Here's a screen pass over here to Keith. Keith makes the catch and just does get pushed out of bounds, saving a touchdown. D1 East, Carter Stansbury shoves him out at the 38. A gain on the play of 15. Let's go back to Dusty.
Yeah, so Micah Cother, Chase County. You got 2 teammates, Tucker Grove and Brock Griffin here, as well as your head coach. Coach Budke's an assistant. How cool is it to be able to share this experience?
It's amazing. We played all 4 years of high school. We played elementary school, junior high. And my coach has been with me ever since, playing 10 years. Been with me ever since then. It's just amazing to have your teammates here. It's somewhat familiar faces that you know when you come in here. But, obviously you make more friends as you go along in the camp with people on your team and other teams, really.
Here's a pass by Morgan, deep sideline, and it is caught. What a catch again by the D1 West as Kinner-Connect, the recipient, makes a fantastic adjustment all the way down inside the 5.
We can talk a lot about Morgan.
Mike, just what's been your favorite part of this week?
Just making friends with people that you never would have thought you would make friends with. Your enemies on the field early in the year, and you come here and, I'm your best friend, your lifelong friends after that.
Mike Cother from Chase County. Appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
Unofficially a 34-yard pass from Morgan to Kinner-Connect. Kinner-Connect now closing in on a 100-yard day receiving. D1 West leading 20-18, looking for more. They have it at the 5 of the East. Morgan keeps it, and he has no chance. He is devoured as Stansbury over there on the far side to string out the play. Also there was Caston Worth of Linden, and a loss back to the 9 for Caden Morgan.
Yeah, these receivers, and we've talked about it multiple times, doing such a good job of going up and getting the ball, and probably more than that is adjusting to the ball in the air. And quarterbacks love that. When you're an accurate passer and you have receivers that adjust to the ball to look like it's thrown right on the money, that just makes the quarterback look that much better. So it's a combination of the good blocking up front and the accurate passer and guys that can go get the ball as receivers.
And a timeout called by the West. They lead 20-18. They have 1 timeout remaining. D1 Blue, the East, they have 2 timeouts remaining, and we're seeing an influx of scoring now for both teams. It seems like the offense is starting to make some adjustments, or you could say maybe just the defense wears down a little bit because you're on the field, and you would talk about some of the fast-paced offense. They've got no huddle a lot, has the West, and you talked about the D1 West is going short, then they're taking the shots down the field. A lot of area to cover for the D1 East.
Yeah, and we've seen exactly what you said. We've seen 3 consecutive possessions that have ended up in touchdowns, and it's looking like a 4th here as they have 2nd and goal. So, and this is what happens. You've only got a handful of practices to get ready, so sometimes the first quarter can be not sloppy, but maybe not executed as well. We had a pre-snap penalty before the first play, and now they're settled in at this point, and that's why after the first quarter, a lot of times we see really good football in these games, and that's exactly what we're seeing at this point.
So 20-18, D1 West with the lead, still 5:21 to go here in the first half. It's been tied all the way. D1 West with a safety to start things, led 8-0. D1 East, 12 unanswered on 2 touchdown runs by Jace Wunderlich of Central Burton, made it 12-8, but then the West took the lead 14-12, and on that last drive they were able to score to make it 20-12. The D1 East would respond, but failed on the two-point conversion. And now the D1 West is in position to score yet again, and a couple of big pass plays, and a 15-yarder to Keith and a 34-yarder to Kinderconnect to get this ball to the 5. Here's Morgan being blitzed. Now he throws. Oh, intercepted through behind Novotny. It's picked off. On the return is Andrew Smith. A huge turnover. Morgan and his receiver not on the same page. And Novotny was open, but Morgan threw it behind him. Picked off and returned to about the 15, actually going to mark it to 12. So a huge interception, Andrew Smith, and a big mistake by the West.
And that's about pressure. And it was a middle linebacker blitz that got Morgan to have to move his feet, which he really hasn't had to do much at all today. He's been clean in the pocket. He wasn't that time. And he threw behind the receiver and went through it right to Andrew Smith, who picks it off. So there is a big change, and it happens because of the pass rush, and a good call blitzing that middle linebacker.
D1 West had an opportunity to go up 2 scores as they got the touchdown and a 2-point. Now instead, D1 East has the football, trailing by 2 with 5:13 to go here in the first half. They have the ball at their own 12, moving from left to right, from east to west here at Trojan Field. Wunderlich keeps and has huge hole to run through. Wunderlich far side, cuts back, lowers the boom of one defender, sheds another tackler, carries 2 more all the way down to the D1 West 33-yard line. Gain on the play of 34 yards for Wunderlich.
Yeah, you got all these athletes. We talk about these big guys, the 6'4" guys, and it's the 5'9" guy that's dominating right now.
Let's go to the sideline and Dusty.
Andrew Smith of Little River with us. The big interception there, they didn't see you hiding back there, did they?
No, sir, I don't. I think he underthrew him a little bit, and I was just sitting right there.
This has been a great experience probably for you to be able to join in your Little River teammates. Tell me about this defense that's been playing today and some of the adjustments that you've made.
I actually really like this defense. It's pretty self-explanatory at the corner spot. Linemen, they really got into the groove. One of my teammates, Carter, he never played DN, but this week he started playing, and he's doing fantastic. So it's a really good defense to run.
D1 East, as Wunderlich breaks a couple more tackles, and he's like a bull release in a china shop, down to the 24, gain of 8, 2nd and 2, back to Dusty.
Coach Ayers was here to talk last night at the banquet. How cool was it to see him and just to be able to be a part of this Little River legacy at the 8-man All-Star game?
Oh, Coach Ayers is an awesome guy, awesome coach. I've loved him. Played there 3 years. Loved every bit of it. It's just a great environment. Community is awesome at Little River, and I love playing there.
Andrew Smith of Little River, thanks for the time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Andrew Smith with a big interception there in the end zone, returned it to the 12. D1 East now has flipped the field. They have the pigskin resting on the near hash at the 24 in West Territory. Trailing by 2. Low snap, Wunderlich handles it. Has some time. Now he runs out of time and is brought down. And a flag coming in late from the back judge. So we'll sort that out. Wunderlich ended up losing a yard on the play.
Should be a personal foul after the play was over. Someone continued to block and got pretty high on the block. I saw the guy in the secondary just raise his hands up. Instead of responding, it's just raised his hand up, being really disciplined.
At the 8-man pep rally yesterday, one of the last things I said to all the players as the MC of the rally was play hard, play clean, don't get ejected. We've had a couple players over the years that have been ejected, believe it or not, from the 8-man All-Star games, and that's not really a legacy that you want to leave. And I told the kids, you're representing not only your family and the name on your uniform, you're representing the school and the town that you are from.
Yeah, the field judge back behind the play saw it, and he's pointing over to the bench, and he had his hands up to the face where the offensive player just come up and hit the guy basically in the face mask. And I never really understood why you would hit somebody in the face mask or the helmet, because that hurts. Not the guy that's getting hit.
Hurts your hand or arm. Yeah, exactly. So the penalty is on the East. That's a third penalty for 25 yards. The West has had 5 penalties for 35 yards.
Okay, they're calling it the play didn't count, so it's still second down, even though it happened to me after the play was over.
So second down and 15 now for the D1 East at the D1 West 36.5-yard line. Receiver flanked to the near boundary. Wunderlich has a running back to his left. That's Massey. Wunderlich throws, lobs it over the middle. Cothers has it at the 5. The tight end from Chase County, who Dusty just talked to, with a big pickup of 32 yards. First and goal for the D1 East.
You want to talk about some accuracy? Drops that right in there. Not perfect coverage, but decent coverage on the play. But you just have a receiver with a little bit of size, and you drop that in there to the 6'2 receiver, and these guys in the secondary trying to cover these 6'2", 6'4 guys, you just don't have enough size with accurate quarterbacks. It's just really a pitch and catch at this point for these offensive teams, and whether you get stops or not is really totally dependent on if you can get a rush to the quarterback with some of your blitzes or your defensive ends getting to the quarterback.
Well, we've seen Morgan with his arm. He's throwing for 216 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And we have seen Wunderlich use his arm and his legs. First and goal at the 5 for the D1 East, trying to take the lead. Massey goes in motion to the right. Rolling right, Wunderlich, and then has no chance. They brought the blitz off the far edge, and there was Jaden Nuss of Hill City also coming in to make the tackle for the D1 West with pressure was Mater of Hoxie, and a loss all the way back to the 13, a loss of 8 on that sack.
Yeah, that was pretty much you could figure out that once you get down close to the goal line, you're going to see blitzes because you're not susceptible to the big play when the team's close to your goal line because they're not going to beat you deep because they're out of the back of the end zone. So you know something has to happen quick. So you're going to do some blitzing, you're going to get to the quarterback, and that's where you look for one missed tackle and it's going to be a touchdown, or you get somebody out in the flat real quick that's supposed to be covered by that linebacker, and it's a walk into the end zone.
So second goal from the 13, ball resting in the middle of the field as the D1 East going towards the west end zone to our right, and the D1 East is calling a timeout to discuss things here, and it's a pretty big play that's coming up, second down and goal with 2:12 to go here before halftime. There's so many people to thank that make this event possible. The Kansas 8-Man Association, Dave Dubert, 8-Man All-Star Game Committee, Hannah Bowers, the Beloit Area Chamber of Commerce, Mandy Fincham with Mitchell County Convention Tourism. We're here for her during halftime. The Beloit Rotary Club, the Beloit Odyssey Club, used to be called the Lions Club, Knights of Columbus, Beloit Junior Senior High School, the City of Beloit, Rodney Paul and the staff taking care of the field. NCK Tech College, who hosts the kids on the dorms and campus. Gary Pauls helps us with the wireless mic we have on the sideline and the pep rally setup entertainment-wise at Beloit Entertainment Center. Isaac Schoen does a great job, a public address announcer, and big thank you to the Beloit Call. Huge thank you to Barb and Charles Axtell for their work on the 8-Man programs as always. Barb has had a little accident recently, and we wish her nothing but the best, and they've done so many great things with the programs through the years. And we appreciate all the affiliates who are carrying the game today. Without them, we wouldn't be able to spread this game across the state of Kansas, so we hope you're enjoying the coverage. Big thank you to our webmaster, Derek Nestor, who helps put together the 8manallstar.com website. Thanks to Dusty and also to Todd for being here for color commentary. All of our sponsors, all the volunteers that we left out, we don't mean to, but you know who you are. It takes a village to put something together like this, and it goes very smoothly.
Pretty cool, Wade. You talk about our affiliates. I just heard from my brother. He's headed to Kansas City. He's listening to us on the Iola affiliate. I'm assuming it's the Iola affiliate.
Yeah, Iola, yep.
That's where he's going by.
Yeah, 99.3 FM, 1370 AM Quill in Iola. Well, we're glad they can listen wherever they may be. Also can listen on the apps. They're free on your phones as well, wherever you are across the world. Second down and goal at 13, D1 East looking to take the lead. Wunderlich airs it out, looking into the back of the end zone. Oh! It is hauled in, a fingertip catch as if there's Velcro on the hands of Mr. Cothers, and he hauls it in, 13-yard touchdown strike, and the D1 East takes the lead 24-20.
You think the coaches, as the game goes, start to figure out where their matchups are that they like, and the receivers and the quarterbacks that are on the same page, and just a great pass, and that's really hard to cover because it's towards the back of the end zone, and it's a 6'2 receiver that catches basically the back end of the ball. Just a great catch.
So D1 East goes for 2, 24-20. Wunderlich keeps it, reverses field. Can he get in? Yes, he does. The first time today that a team has converted on the 2-point attempt. Wunderlich gets it in there. Just did get inside the pylon on the near boundary. And it's 26-20 East. So the West had the ball at first and goal at the 5. They throw the interception, and the East takes advantage, goes all the way back down the field on the ensuing drive, adds a 2-point conversion, and they're up 26-20 with 2:06 to play before halftime. Well, it's been a very entertaining football game. We've seen A turnover for each team. Actually, a couple of turnovers there for the D1 West. A fumble that shouldn't have been a fumble, so the incomplete pass, and then the interception. D1 East, an interception early in the game. And we had the bad snap over the head of the punter, so we've seen a safety. We've seen really a lot of different things here in this first half as Dusty has a guest on the sideline. Let's go down to him.
Peyton Taylor of Harrington with us. Peyton, you got a chance to play in the 8-man All-Star game here, and you've gone down and got a couple big scores from Cothers here on offense. For you, blocking for these guys compared to the normal season, it's probably nice to have a lot of All-Stars behind you, right?
Oh, yeah. It's nice to have guys that will, hit the hole the way they're supposed to and not do whatever they want.
They were getting in the backfield on you early, but you guys have been able to kind of hold that in check now. What's the offense done to adjust and be able to put points on the board here?
Just more communication, really. It's easier for us to, talk it out and pick up who we need to pick up now. Just seeing what they're going to do.
What's the biggest memory you're going to take away from this game?
I don't know. Well, that's going to have to be determined by the rest of the game.
Peyton Taylor from Harrington, thanks for the time, man.
I got to listen to Peyton, or visit with Peyton right before the game, and I said, "Hey, do you know the Chippies?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, Kenzie played for him." He says, "Yeah, I know his brother. He was pretty cool. He said he was ready for some football."
We ran into his mom after 8-man rally yesterday. More on that in a moment as the kickoff's in the end zone to be a touchback for the D1 West. We'll start at 15 with 2:06 to go. First half, D1 East 26, D1 West 20. And he has a couple of younger brothers, and so she said, "I hope to be back here." And I said, "You could be a semi-regular." It was the first time that she was here in Beloit to experience things with the rally and then the game for her son Peyton, and so perhaps there'll be a few more Taylors that'll be in this game in the future.
They know the routine now.
Yes, they do. Peyton, 5'11", turned 75-pound lineman from Harrington, going to go to Missouri Western, and going into law enforcement. He's an enforcer on the field. Big kid, strong kid. 26-20. D1 West with the ball, thrown 15. Morgan throws, has a man open, Novotny makes the catch at the 30. Far sideline, midfield 40. Far sideline 25, 20. Chopped down there, saving the touchdown is Alex Smith from South Sumner. But a gigantic play on first down for the D1 West all the way to the 15-yard line. A pickup of 50.
Yeah, plenty of time when you got 2:08 to go in the half because so far they've had a 7-second drive and an 8-second drive. So time is not really a concern for this offense of D1 West. Now the concern is scoring too quick.
Yeah, and this timeout is called by the D1 East. They're probably thinking that possibly as well.
Get the ball back.
That is their last timeout that I have here. And we see this sometimes in 8-man games where the defense starts out fine. Offense takes a while to start clicking. And then the second half, sometimes it'll be maybe during the third quarter, maybe it's the fourth quarter, where all of a sudden it's the defense kind of wears out, and the offenses start scoring at will.
At will.
We're starting to see that a little bit earlier here, I think, in this first half in the second quarter, where the offense is starting to figure some things out. And about the only way you're going to stop anybody right now is a couple of big penalties or turnover.
And that really is 8-man football. You talk about getting stops. It's really about turning the opponent over. In an evenly matched game, you've got to get the turnovers. How do you get the turnovers? There's some things you got to do up front. You got to get some pressure. You got to make the quarterback uncomfortable. You got to move him off his spot, and that's exactly what happened with Andrew Smith's interception on the previous set of downs, and that's really the key to the ball game. Those types of plays by some defensive ends, by a block by the middle linebacker, because the offensive line of both teams since the initial drives have done a good job of blocking the defensive ends. It's been the blitzes by the middle linebackers, because the middle linebackers really, that's what they can do to affect the play, because there hasn't been a whole lot of run plays. So they might as well, instead of standing there behind the defensive line, get after the quarterback.
Andre Vaughn is the left guard. Corbin Michek of Trigo started out a left guard. Vaughn, the replacement player late for Hoxie, 6'4", 300 pounds. Two receivers front left, one receiver to the right. To the right hip is a running back to Morgan, and he flips it over. It's a halfback pass, and it is incomplete. Knocked out last minute at the goal line as it was Logan Meyer throwing the pass, and it was pretty accurate. But as Jalen Massey dove and deflected it, it might have been caught for a touchdown. Great defensive play by the Linden Tiger product.
Yeah, the ball was behind the receiver, which allowed Massey to get back in on the play, an accurate throw, and that's a touchdown.
So now second down and 10 at the 15 for the D1 West. Logan Meyer from Lincoln And Morgan back in a quarterback here, was on the last play, just flipped it to the halfback Meyer, who threw the football. We have a flag, a penalty, and it is a encroachment called on the defense, so makes it now 2nd down and 5.
Looks like somebody lined up offside because I didn't see anybody move.
Yeah.
So they must have just been lined up in the neutral zone. Wanting to get after that quarterback, they're wanting that little edge.
Mm-hmm. Any edge you can get, you'll take it. So the penalty makes it 2nd down and 5 at the 10 for the D1 West. 3-by-1 look. Empty backfield. In motion, Logan Meyer. Now Morgan slings it near side. It is caught. Making a little cutback, and then, big-time tackle from nowhere is Jackson Risley, a South Southerner, showing his speed in closing pursuit, and he brings down Wyatt Gardner at the 2, but that's enough for a first down.
That's 6'1", 200 in pursuit from the inside and makes that hit. A lot of times that's when you see that ball pop out, so good ball security by the receiver on the play.
Yeah, Gardner is able to hold on to the pigskin. They're going to put a little more time on the clock, I believe. 26-20 East with the lead, 1:30 to go here before halftime. D1 West trying to regain the lead. They've had the lead for a good portion of this first half. They're headed towards the east end zone to our left here at Trojan Field in Beloit.
So you're going to take a knee here to let clock run so you don't give it back to Wunderlich with too much time?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think that's in the playbook?
No, I don't think so.
It might need to be, though.
Yeah, well, but it is first down. Scoreboard has 3rd down, but it is first down. But they are going to run that play clock down. Morgan in the gun. Meyer to his right. Morgan keeps it, a little cutback, and he is just stopped shy of the goal line at the 1, which for the D1 West, they're actually okay with that. That milks more time. D1 East out of timeout. So approaching 1 minute to play here before halftime. Morgan 5 carries for 20 yards, but how about this? Caden Morgan has thrown the ball 20 times in this first half. 3 touchdown passes, 274 yards, and we're still in the first half. And I'll look up the records.
Yeah, that's where I was headed.
On that, because the passing record.
433.
Yep,
Gefeller from Wallace County in 14.
That number is in danger.
Yeah, it is.
And Wunderlich's thrown for 123 himself and run for over 100. So 2nd down and goal at the 1. Once again, they'll milk that clock. 30 seconds to play, and now the D1 West will burn their 3rd and final timeout here before intermission. Stay tuned for a halftime show as Mandy Fincham will be with us, Director of Mitchell County Convention and Tourism. She's in her first year in that role. Lucille Heller retiring. Did that many years in that position and was the person we heard from in past years during our halftime show. We'll go through the numbers as well. The individual record for yards rushing in the game is held by one of the coaches, Mitch Engelken, who is the head coach.
That's not going to get broke today.
No, 251. It may never get broken. 251 yards rushing on about 20 carries from Mitch Engelken. He was at Baileyville B&B in 2012, and then now Mitch is head coach of the D2 West All-Stars coming up later today. And like Todd accurately predicted, or at least I think I can call my shot on that one as well, the D2 game will not start on time at 1:30, more than likely, with this game lasting so long in the first half. We're already at 11:30, an hour and a half, and we are still not into halftime.
Yeah, this is the longest half of football that I've seen in an 8-man game. Great football, thoroughly enjoying it. And I was half joking earlier, but half not when I said that take a knee, because so many times you see teams hurry up to score and give the other team, you text me all the time, scored too quick. Yep. And I say, yep. Mm-hmm. And the other team goes down and scores. Sometimes the Chiefs only need a handful of seconds. Was it 13 seconds?
Against Buffalo. Buffalo Bills appreciate bringing that up for the 1 minute time, but it's okay with me. So 2nd down and goal. Here is Morgan. It's just the snap of the quarterback. He plows his way in behind his offensive line and in for the touchdown. Goes down as a 1.5-yard plunge for Morgan. And the D1 West has tied the game at 26. Oh, wow, 26 are wild. It's 26-26 with 26 seconds to go in the first half. Somebody take a picture of that. That's weird. You know, if you're playing the lottery, maybe 26 is the number.
There you go.
At least one of them. A few other numbers actually win the jackpot, I've been told. I don't play. I just hope to win without buying a ticket. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers flank left. Morgan in the gun on the 2-point shot. D1 West has not been successful on the 2-point conversion yet. If they are here, they take the lead. Morgan, a little pop pass over the middle, going up and whipping it down and making the catch. Oh, it's one of the big guys for the D1 West. big-time play. I believe that was Christopher Michelle of Wichita County. It was. He makes the catch, and the D1 West has a 28-26 lead.
And that's the first time that Morgan has been in on the PAT.
That's true.
And they're 1-for-1 doing that. So, and that was huge because, as I said, in these games, that decides who wins is the point after touchdowns. And both of them have got one, and it's still that first score of the ball game. That's the difference.
Let's go to Dusty on the far side.
Justice Novotny with me from Pratt Skyline. A big play there to get yourself in position to score. Was that play exactly what you've worked on all week for that big hitter?
Yes, sir, it was.
How big is it to get this score right before half, get this lead, you get a 2-point conversion, and you got to enjoy playing with Morgan, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. I mean, the score was huge. It was really huge, and that was executed perfectly by our teammates. I mean, we are doing a fantastic job on offense. I mean, and defense is picking it up. I mean, we're playing some great football. And then Caden Morgan, man, that kid is a beast. I mean, I played against him during regular season, and he is a handful for sure. I mean, he was our main focus for defense in the regular season when we played them.
What's the biggest thing you've taken away from this week?
Biggest thing I've taken away from this week is that football builds so many relationships with your peers. I mean, some of these guys, I didn't even know them, and it was kind of hard to get to know them, start talking to them at first. But, man, those guys, some of my best friends for sure. I love these guys. They are going to be friends for forever for sure.
Justice Novotny from Pratt Skyline. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Peter Krause, Rollins County with a big-time stick on the returner, Tucker Grove. The kickoff by Heischel was one of those ugly slices that Todd applies when he golfs, and but somehow a little out of spin. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, just stopped on a dime, but it pinned the returner, and he had nowhere to go.
That stayed in the field of play. My golf shots don't stay in the fairway. So thanks for the compliment.
Yeah, you betcha. You bet. Oh, that thing was going. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. I was anticipating it too, and then all of a sudden it just hit and spun back. So the D1 East has to be careful here. They have the football at their own 5. They'd probably be wise to just take a knee. Neither team has a timeout left. Let's see. We'll have a 75-yard trick play they want to run here. 28-26, West with the lead as we close in on halftime. And Wunderlich will keep it. Running left. And then is drilled by Krause again from the backside at the 15. Wunderlich with a gain of 10. Wunderlich a pretty good first half. 11 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdown runs. Threw for 123, 2 touchdown passes. Caden Morgan, 274 yards passing, 3 touchdown throws, and a touchdown run. And the D1 East, clock stopped to move the chains, and they will get off one more play. At least that's the plan from their own 15. Josiah Banyora is in at running back. Wunderlich being chased. Better hold on the football. Now he just throws it forward. And it's deemed an incomplete pass. Well, I think his knee might have been down, but it doesn't matter. Back at the 2. It's the final play of the first half. And we've had a good one here today at Trojan Field in Beloit. As the D1 West All-Stars 28, the D1 East All-Stars 26. Let's go to Dusty.
Travis Davian, head coach of the Division I West All-Stars, telling his players where to get directed at. Travis, it's been a big half of big plays, right? You were able to get some pressure early, but they were able to make some plays. But, a questionable shovel pass that was called a fumble. But you guys bounced back, and you have a 2-point lead here at halftime. How do you feel about the way it's gone so far?
Yeah, we played pretty good. I mean, they're kind of doing everything we thought they would. They just got good football players. They're going to score. I told my guys that. Don't ever get too down on yourself because they're going to score. They're good just like you are. We've been trading back and forth here, and we've got the lead. I'm happy with that. But, as far as I'm concerned, second half 0-0. So we just got to win the second half, and things will take care of itself.
With the talent that you have, Morgan's just been dropping dimes at quarterback. What's it been like to, not only with Morgan, but to have all these guys converge together that you've had to play against? You got your own guy Nuss here, but when you look at that and how it's played out this week, what stands out?
Man, the Morgan kid's really surprised me. Like I knew he could throw the ball a little bit, and talked to Coach Webster, and he told me, and he vouched for his throwing. And then he's got here, and he's just been everything and then some. So I don't know if the kid's playing college football. I don't think I heard he did, but he absolutely can the way he throws the football. He's been great, and we've got a lot of guys that can block and catch. So he's having fun out here, and I'm happy to be up on the scoreboard right now.
What do you tell the guys here at half to keep this momentum?
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to go make some adjustments as far as some of those big run plays that they had early there in the first half. At the quarterback keeper stuff, we'll go adjust to that and just keep doing what we're doing on offense.
Travis Davey, Hill City D1 West. Thanks for the time, man. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Dusty.
Well, very entertaining first half, and the D1 West All-Stars lead the D1 East 28-26 at the break. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll go through the scoring summary. We'll go through the individual and team totals. But coming up next, we will hear from Andy Fincham, Director of Mitchell County Convention and Tourism, tell you a little bit more about what North Central Kansas and Mitchell County and Beloit area has to offer to you if you happen to maybe be relocating in this area, or if you just simply want to visit. 28-26, West All-Stars would lead a halftime in Division I All-Star game. We will return. Mandy Fincham will be with us after a 2-minute timeout. This is the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. And welcome back to the 8-Man All-Star Games on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. As we're at halftime of Division I All-Star Game, Division I West All-Stars with the lead by a score of 28-26. The D1 East had the football first, drove down the field, and an interception by Brian Rodriguez stopped that drive. The West would take over. Eventually, D1 East got the ball back, and they had the punt. Snap was over the punter head, Darbo's head, and Darbo recovered the end zone, but it was a safety for the D1 West, and they led 2-0. The ensuing possession after the free kick after the safety, 42-yard pass from Morgan to Kinnerconnect. Beautiful pass over the middle, hit him in stride. Quinter Product with the touchdown. 2-point conversion failed, made it 8-0. In favor of the D1 West. D1 East would come right back, 2 plays, 49-yard drive, a 48-yard run by the quarterback from Central Burden, Jace Wunderlich. 2-point conversions failed. It was 8-6 in favor of the D1 West. The D1 East would take the lead on a 33-yard touchdown run by Jace Wunderlich. That was after a call that was missed by the officials. It was a little shovel, not even really a shovel pass, but just a push pass from the quarterback to the man in motion to Kinnerconnect. He couldn't come up with it cleanly. Should have been blown dead, been an incomplete pass. After a long conversation, we thought the officials would correct that. They did not. They said they called it a fumble, but it was a forward pass. It's just not a play they probably have seen a lot. It's the same play that Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs run many times, and sometimes people say Patrick Mahomes gets some cheap touchdown passes out of it, flip ahead to McCole Hardman or to a Tyreek Hill, and if it's dropped, it's no big deal. People freak out in the stadium, and they yell and scream and think it's a fumble, and even the officials immediately usually many times will call it a fumble and then realize it is a pass, but they did not correct that one, so the East took advantage, and it was one of like a 33-yard run right after that play. And that made it in favor of the East, 12-8. The West was not daunted, though. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Caden Morgan to Brock Keith of Meade. 2-point conversion failed. D1 West led 14-12. And then it took a 20-12 lead as it was Morgan to Keith from 36 yards out on one play. It took 8 seconds to score that time for the D1 West. But they kept missing their 2-point conversions most of the time in that first half, and that kept it a one-possession game. D1 East would respond after an interception by Andrew Smith to stop a drive. Actually, that came a little bit later. It was 5-play, 65-yard drive. It was 13-yard pass from Wunderlich to Micah Cothers. Great catch in the end zone over the head of the defensive back, who had his back turned to the quarterback. 2-point conversion failed. It was 20-18, the West with the lead at that time. Then the West drove right down the field, first and goal at the 5, but Caden Morgan's pass was behind Novotny in the end zone, picked off by Andrew Smith. He returned it to the 12, and then it was a 68-yard touchdown jaunt down the field. And in 5 plays, it was a 13-yard pass play on second goal from the 13. Wunderlich to Cothers in the corner of the end zone, perfectly placed in great hands, right on the fingers. Cothers pulled it in. Wunderlich added the 2-point conversion run. It was 26-20, but the West, they got the ball with 2:06 to go for halftime. Take 2 minutes. They go 5 plays, 65 yards. And it was Morgan with a 1-yard run, but they had some big pass plays, including that 50-yarder to Pratt Skyline's Justin Novotny, and that put him in business. And then the 2-point conversion on the pass there as well. I don't have it with me here, but let's see, who was the pass to? Michelle, that's right. It was the lineman, Christopher Michelle, that got the 2-point conversion pass, and that made it 28-26 here before intermission. So we're at halftime. D1 West with the lead, 28-26. Let's go through the totals for you. First for the D1 West Red All-Stars. Caden Morgan, 6 carries, 21 yards. Logan Meyer, carry from Lincoln for 18. Brock Keith and Meade, carry for -3. The Westers lied on the passing game in the right arm of Caden Morgan. Morgan was 15 of 20 for 274 yards in that first half. 3 touchdown passes, did throw the 1 interception. Logan Meyer with a halfback pass, but that was incomplete. Braden Bird of Meade with 2 catches for 4 yards. Ryan Gardner, Wichita County, a catch for 8. Trace Kinnerkecht of Quinter been a favorite target in this first half. 5 catches, 95 yards, including a 42-yard touchdown reception. Brock Keith of Meade with 2 touchdown receptions of 15 and 36 yards. He had 4 catches for 97 yards, and Novotny a 50-yard catch to help set up that final score from Pratt Skyline. He has 3 catches for 70 yards. For the D1 East, a little bit more balanced. Jace Wunderlich, quarterback, 11 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdown runs of 48 and 33. Jalen Massey of Linden, 5 carries for 12. Brock Griffin, a carry for -5 block from Chase County. Throwing the football, Jace Wunderlich in that first half was 6 of 10. Did throw 1 interception, 2 touchdown passes. Micah Cothers caught those 2 touchdown catches. 4 receptions for 62 yards for Cothers. And Caston Worth of Linden, a catch for 35. Brock Griffin with a catch for 26. First half, 5 penalties for the Division I Red for 35 yards. Division I Blue, 4 for 30. Turnovers, 2 by the Red, 1 that shouldn't have been. They did throw an interception, as I mentioned, had the lost fumble. D1 Blue threw an interception on their first drive of the game. Total offense, 310 yards for the D1 West, 270 for the D1 East. Rushing yardage, D1 Blue East, 147. D1 Red West not really trying to establish the run at 36. Passing yardage, D1 Red West, 274. D1 Blue East, 123. So 580 yards of total offense in that first half, 54 total combined points, and we have a good one at halftime. 28-26 in favor of the D1 West All-Stars over the D1 East All-Stars. We're about 4.5 minutes away from starting the second half, and that first half was entertaining, but it did seem like the offenses started to really rule the roost there midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, it was the 2 turnovers that really cost the West team, or they probably would have a decent lead here at half. And Caden Morgan is on pace at halftime to break the passing record by 115 yards, and he would also set the total yards record. So, there was a lot of offense in the first half. That's why the first half went an hour and 35 minutes.
It started out with a safety, and then we saw the swings and momentums with those turnovers, as you mentioned, and the big one was Andrew Smith's interception in the end zone. And let's go down to the sideline and Dusty.
Tyler O'Connor with us, the head coach of the Mount Ridge Wildcats, assistant coach of the Division I East squad. Coach, as you looked at this first half, obviously it took a little bit for both teams to get going. You had some big plays early, and then you settled in and now have a 2-point deficit at half, 28-26. What do you see in the first half and some of the things that stood out?
You know, there was playmakers on both sides of the ball. I think the physicality is something that kind of you have to settle into with taking that much time off. So hopefully we're able to do that this first half and come out and put some points up in the second.
You're a guy that was able to play in this game in high school when you were at Wallace County and Sharon Springs, made the trip out here and played, and now you get your first opportunity to coach. What does that mean, and maybe what are the differences that you've seen this week?
Yeah, so this game for me personally changed my life because my roommate throughout the week ended up introducing me to my wife. So this game means a whole lot to me. It's special to be here and be in a different role as a coach, and I just really enjoyed and took it all in throughout the week and let the kids know what kind of an opportunity it was that they had.
Your former coach at Sharon Springs, Kevin Ayers, was here last night doing the speech at the alumni banquet. You played chess on the bus going on the way to the state championship in 07?
Yeah, so I'm a big chess player, and I was lucky enough to have some teammates that would volunteer to play me, so I took advantage of it, and if it's on the way to a state game, it's on the way to a state game. I'll play chess anywhere.
Good thing to do on a long bus ride, right?
Yeah, correct.
Tyler O'Connor from Mound Ridge and the D1 East assistant coach. Thanks for the time, man. Best of luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dusty, as we get prepared for the second half. We talk about the All-Stars and how good these guys are. I want to give you an example of how loaded these teams are. I'm going to use Andrew Smith as an example. Andrew Smith made the interception. He's playing on defense. Andrew Smith of Little River, a team that made it to the second round of the playoffs. He's 6'3", 190 pounds. For Little River this year, he ran for 1,900 yards and 36 touchdowns, and he doesn't start on offense in the 8-man All-Star game. And you know what? I'm willing to bet he didn't whine or moan about it. He just said, I just want to play. And he had a big interception there in the first half. There are lots of guys that have lots of really impressive offensive numbers, and then the coach's job in a very short period of time is where do we plug these guys in to give us the best chance of winning? And you got some guys that play some different positions as well when they get here to the 8-man games that they didn't their whole careers.
Well, you want the best athletes on the field, and sometimes you have to put kids in different positions to get your best athletes on the field. And one of the things that you always hear everybody talk about is the relationships and the lifetime relationships. Well, it doesn't get any more than lifetime relationships than Coach O'Connor saying that my roommate introduced me to my wife.
Yes.
So that pretty much says it all about the relationships that are established in this event.
So I would imagine then Coach O'Connor's wife was more than happy to let him get away for a week and do 8-man All-Stars because she benefited, or maybe she didn't benefit. It depends. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that is a pretty cool story to share, and we love to hear that. And I understand Coach Davian, by the way, is going to get married, and I think he's going to get married in Jamaica. So I just got to meet Coach Davian for the first time this week, and him and I have really bonded. And he said that I can be in the wedding and help out on a free trip to Jamaica that he's going to pay for. Oh, wait a minute, that was my dream. That's not going to happen. But wish him the best of luck. And we're talking about marriage.
Yeah, and getting reports from our listeners that said we really love the interviews from the sideline. I don't know what that says about you and I, but my brother, who's listening on the way to Kansas City listening on the Iowa station, said he loves the well-spoken kids on the interviews. And I think it was last year we had the one team that did so well with whatever skit they put on. I think there was a wedding or something they did. And
last year or the year before?
It might have been a couple years ago. Yeah. It all starts to run together. But then interviewed some of them, and that was some good interviews. I'm thinking, man, these are some characters.
All right, so D1 West with the lead, and they'll get the football to start the second half as they won the toss to start the game, and they deferred. So D1 East, it will be Lane Darbrough to kick it away from Madison. And back to return for the D1 West, you have Kinnerconnect from Quinter. And also the return for, is that 12? I can't tell if that's Ryder Dent or if that's Braden Bird. It might be Braden Bird, I think, from Meade that is back to return. So it was a very long first half, but entertaining first half. Sometimes you have long halves and it's one-sided game where everybody keeps chucking the ball. No, that was a very entertaining half. Not complaining that was longer because it was fun to watch. Here's the kickoff taking it to 1. Here's Kinnerconnect, and he lowers the boom on the defender, takes him down in essence, and is brought down in the process as Vanura with the tackle at the 20. That's where the D1 West will begin.
Well, it's just going to be interesting to see on both sides of the ball the adjustments. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of adjustments offensively for either team. They're thinking we're going to score unless we turn the ball over, so we just have to do a good job of decisions and security with the ball. But I think which team is going to be able to get some pressure on the quarterback and disrupt the offense is going to be the key to see who wins.
3-by-1 set, 3 receivers near side, 1 to the far. In the gun is Morgan. Going from right to left, red uniforms. Morgan, short drop, throws, and it's a dot, as they said earlier, to his teammate in high school, Gage Burkle across, and it's a pickup to the 28, gain of 8.
And Wade, you hit on this earlier. I don't know what the percentage is on his throws, but it seems like every time he throws, somebody catches it.
Yes.
and even sometimes it's someone in the blue jersey that's playing defense. The ball never seems to hit the ground.
He's very accurate, no question about it. In motion is Kinnerconnect. They handed the Kinnerconnect this time instead of flipping it on a pass. You notice that? And Kinnerconnect goes out of bounds far side, has enough for the first down at the 31. He is nudged out of bounds over there by the D1 East. I think it was Dalton Morrison helping out on the tackle. Gain up a couple.
Well, if it's going to get called a fumble either way, you might as well be a little more secure with it and hand it off.
Yes, that would make sense, no question. 75 degrees at kickoff. It's now 79 degrees. So pretty good day for a Saturday in June. Here's a swing pass to the receiver Kinnerconnect in the open field. Kinnerconnect takes on the tackler, which is Alex Smith, not to be confused with the former quarterback of the Chiefs. And it's a pickup of 10 on just a simple swing pass to Kinnerconnect.
Yeah, that slot screen pass that they're throwing, it is timed so well and thrown so well. You can see that Kinnerconnect is kind of going laterally, and then as the ball's getting there, it's thrown so accurate where he has full speed going forward when the ball gets there. It's executed so well. 1st and 10 at the 39 from the near hash mark for the D1 West in the red uniforms, moving to our left. Counterplay goes to the running back Keith. He is met and dropped. Big-time stick. Delivering the boom there was Jackson Risley of South Sumner, 6-foot 200-pounder.
He is undecided as what he's going to do next, but he'd like to play football at the next level, and he makes plays like that, he'll get noticed, no question. Just a gain of 1.
Yeah, Lane Darborough with the initial penetration that set up the easy tackle because he came through clean and disrupted the run game.
Burke and Kinderknecht to the left side. Novotny, one-on-one coverage to the top. Keith goes in motion, looking for a swing pass. They fake the swing. It's a middle screen to Kinderknecht, and he drops the football at the 38.
Well, I jinxed him.
Yes, you did. Although there were 2 blue jerseys ready to light him up like a Christmas tree, though. So it might have been, and I'm sure that's what he did. He peeked up and thought, uh-oh, here comes the locomotive down the tracks. So an incomplete pass, 3rd down and 9 for the D1 West. They lead 28-26 with 10:30 to go third quarter.
And this is why field position is so important in the 8-man game, because even if you don't get it, you might as well go for it here. With the arsenal you have in this passing game, there's no reason to punt the ball. You got to score if you're going to win.
You're thinking, too, I don't have to get all 9 here. If I get 6 or 7, it's manageable 4th and short. Morgan with trips right. Steps into the throw, a little wobbler, and behind his intended target, coming behind him at the 18 was Burke. Coverage applied by Jeremiah Prince from Sedan. That's one of the few poor passes we've seen Morgan throw. It just came out of his hand kind of funny, and the D1 West will punt on 4th down and 9. Trent Long clicked and Clyde to do the honor, standing back at his own 32.
Yeah, off with the passing game to start that drive. Kinderknecht was the one in the over the middle, just underneath where the ball went. That was the one that was wide open.
So 4th and long. Good snap. Here's the punt. Not a good punt. Off the side of the foot. Goes sideways at the 23. And Coach Davian's probably saying, if I'd known that, we would have gone for it.
Yeah, that's why you go for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they did punt in that situation. So
I was shocked.
All they gained is about 12 yards of field position there.
I was shocked. They're not going to do that again.
No, I don't think so either. So the D1 East will take over, trailing by a deuce, 28-26. The D1 West won this game last year, 28-22, to lead the all-time series 12-10, as they began 2 games back in 2001. First game was back in 1986, and that was north-south, and then went east-west, and games morning and afternoon. Here's the give to Massey, and Massey just hasn't had a lot of running room. Rodriguez, a nice ankle tackle in the open field on a little jump stop by Jalen Massey. And give him a gain of 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, that's a great tackle because you miss that tackle. It's a race down the sideline. It probably wasn't going to be a touchdown because the safety on this side was going to get there, but it would have been a huge gain. That's 8-man football. You have to tackle in the open field.
Peyton Taylor Harrington, we interviewed earlier. He is the center. The left guard is Ian Bryan of Cape Harrell, and Caleb Anschutz of Linden is the right guard for the D1 East. Set up a screen, right side, pass thrown behind, but a nice catch and adjustment by Massey, but once again, just nowhere to go. Krause is over there for the D1 West, also Ryder Den of El Saline. El Saline had a big season, went to the sub-state finals, and a gain of maybe a yard, and that's it on that pass to Massey.
Well, good job by Krause getting that hand up on the pass rush, making Massey have to turn around and slow up to make the catch, which allowed the defense to get there in time to make the tackle. 3rd and 6 for the near hash mark at the 28 for the D1 East as they trail by 2. Approaching 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Receiver left, one receiver to the near side. And the gun is Wunderlich. He's had a good game today. Now tucks it and is brought down, devoured by Jonathan Mader of Hoxie. You've called his name quite a bit. Ends up being a gain of 1 for Wunderlich, so not a sack. As he scrambled, he knew the pocket was breaking down. 4th down and 5, maybe 6 now for the D1 East to navigate, and more than likely they'll punt it away. And that's just coverage. There's nobody open. And I'm seeing in obvious pass situations, you're seeing Morgan come in and play in a safety spot, getting your best athlete out on the field, even on the key 3rd down plays.
So here's Lane Darborough, 6'2", 210-pounder, and he is the punter. Oh, my goodness, almost hit the clouds. High hang time. Short punt, but then goes sideways. So actually the net on that's very good. Down to the 20. So the West will start their own 20. They lead by 2, 28-26. Actually, they'll mark it at the 19, 1st and 10. 8:14 to go third quarter. And D1 West with the lead, 28-26.
Yeah.
D2 game coming up later this afternoon.
Good hang time on that punt. But I've seen back in the day Scott Fullheg punt here, and the ball goes above the lights. And I'm like, where'd the ball go when he punted it? And I'm like, whoa. Great punter.
Scott from Beloit, and of course at K-State, and then
DJ followed him to K-State and punted.
Scott, of course, with the Cincinnati Bengals, NFL, Atlanta Falcons, played with Deion Sanders. 28-26, three receivers right. Slinging at sidearm is Morgan to Novotny. Novotny is brought down by a host of blue jerseys at the 24. Gain of 5. Over on the stop was Castenworth of Linden.
Not to get sidetracked here, but Scott was actually in the locker room next to Deion and said that Deion was a real cool guy. You know, you see the show that Deion puts on, but he's a cool dude.
Second down and 5 to the 24 for the D1 West. They lead by 2. Braden Bird split wide to the left in the slot is Kinnerconnect from Quinter. Morgan throws, and he finds Kinnerconnect. Made a nice move to get open, and Kinnerconnect to the 38. Gain of 14, brought down there by Jeremiah Prince of Sedan. But Kinnerconnect kind of made a route that is Travis Kelce-like. He started to go one direction and then cut back to the near side and was wide open. Kinnerconnect now 119 yards receiving. And
he's hard to tackle in the open field, too.
And Morgan's thrown for over 300, and we still have 7:22 to go third quarter. Take the handoff. Morgan over the middle. It is caught by Novotny on the crossing pattern as he hangs on to it. Great coverage there by Alex Smith, but the pass is on the money. Novotny catches it in stride down to the 28, and it's a pickup of 11 and a first down.
I think Alex Smith knew he was right there on time, but he thought he was going to be a little early, so he kind of had to let up, and that's why the pass was going to be completed, because he thought he was going to get a pass interference on the play.
There's a chance that the D1 West will have 3 receivers with over 100 yards receiving. Kinnerconnect 119 already, Brock Keith 97, and Novotny closing in. He has 86 yards receiving. 2 receivers to the left. Kinnerconnect goes in motion. They fake it to him. They hand it off to the running back Keith, and there's just nothing there. Outstanding defensive play. Great tackle there by Jackson Risley of South Sumner.
Yeah, that's just a very, very long developing play, and it might work on a Friday night in the fall, but against these athletes, that's just too much time for penetration to be allowed. So that play simply is not going to work against these type athletes.
Braden Bird and Kinnerconnect to the left. Keith is the running back on the left hip of Morgan. Lacrosse product, back to throw. Now he throws on his back foot, lobs it out. Had a man Kinnerconnect who got free on the right side. Little post, a little mini post you could call it, and Morgan just tried to lob it in there, but incomplete. One of the few incompletions by Morgan today.
Well, he was coming to our side of the field here, and it was covered. And then Kinnerconnect wide open, 7-8 yards, nobody around him. It's going to be a walk-in touchdown. But Morgan didn't get his feet moved and didn't step towards his target. He rushed it a little bit, and he was not accurate on the throw. First time said that today.
So third down and 10 at the 28 for the D1 West. Moving to our left, 3 receivers set. Twins to the left. Deep ball, right sideline, incomplete going to Novotny. Andrew Smith with the coverage at the goal line, and a flag is thrown. This will be defensive pass interference more than likely on Andrew Smith and the D1 East All-Stars on a 3rd and 10 play. Morgan just took his shot on a fly pattern to his receiver Novotny, and why not? Novotny's 6'4".
Yeah, and got lucky because the ball was not going to be caught because it was out of bounds, which that doesn't matter in high school football. It's either pass interference or it's not, so it's a good call on the play by the officials. And once again, that's just throwing the ball up, letting the 6'4" kid try and make a play, and it wasn't going to get caught because it was going to be out of bounds, but it puts the pressure on that defensive player, so it's 15 yards, or in this case, half the distance, 14 yards, but it doesn't matter how many yards because it's a first down.
Yeah, that's the huge part of the equation. It resets down, and the sun really breaks free out of the clouds now. That'll make it a little bit more muggy and humid down the stretch. First down and 10 at the 14 for the D1 West. They lead 28-26, 6:10 to go, third quarter. Division I 8-man All-Star Game here on the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network. Pair receivers to the left of Morgan. Fakes it to Keith. Morgan, quarterback keep all the way, trying to get a block from Kinnerconnect, and great job of playing off the block and making the tackle was Brock Griffin for the D1 East. Stretches the play out, and Morgan with a gain or just a couple.
Definitely seeing a lot more run by both teams, especially by the West team, and because we're over halfway into the third quarter here and no points on the board and only 3 possessions so far. I ran out of play space on your play sheet. You were looking for that, and I squeezed it in on the bottom right for you, but you need a magnifying glass to see it.
I was going to say, as I get older, it's harder to see those things when my eyesight changes. Usually that wouldn't have been a problem. Four-receiver formation, 3 to the far boundary, 1-on-1. They go over here to Bird, and he drops it on the little wide receiver screen. As getting ready to deliver the tackle was Prince, but Bird took his eyes off of it, dropped it. He's the Meade product, 6'3", 170, had 700 yards receiving this past year.
Yeah, you saw the head come up because he was looking to see where he was going to go. And anytime you take your eyes off the ball, then it's going to end up on the grass. And that's what happened on the play. So huge third down coming, almost the same place they were when they threw the interception right before half.
Or if Kadarius Toney, it doesn't end on the grass. It ends in a touchdown for the other team because the ball deflects into the air. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Here comes the blitz. Quick pass over the middle, and they beat the blitz on the quick pass to Michelle. Christopher Michelle, Wichita County, with the touchdown catch from a tight end position, 11 yards out, as they beat the blitz up the middle. And the D1 West extends their lead to 8, 34-26 with 5:12 to go, third quarter.
Perfect play call against the blitz. And we're seeing a whole lot of blitzes when people get down inside the 10, 15-yard line, and the coaches saw that in the first half, so now they have their counters to that, and that's just a pop pass right over the middle to a guy that's uncovered for an easy touchdown.
So Michelle has a 2-point catch and now a touchdown reception. And now D1 West trying to take a 2-possession lead. Long pitches it to Logan Meyer. Clifton Clyde to Lincoln, and Meyer's able to twirl his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And for the first time today, a team has a 2-possession lead. D1 West 36 to D1 East 26. As a D1 West goes 8 plays, 61 yards, takes about 3 minutes off the clock. The 11-yard touchdown pass, Morgan to Michelle. The defensive pass interference, a huge play on that drive, resetting the downs after they were facing a 3rd and 10.
And that's just the pressure that this passing game puts on the defense. Because when we talk about the spread formation, if people say,
let's go over to Dusty real quick.
Yeah, Logan Meyer from Lincoln with us here. Logan, you've been alternating in and out on offense here and got the big 2-pointer after a nice pop pass to Michelle for the touchdown. What have you been working on, and did that work like you expected it to on that 2-pointer?
Yeah, it was really open. Just a backer pulling from the backside. Hit me, that was it. The rest of it was open. Everybody did their jobs there, so we scored.
You know, you've been a jack of all trades in your career at Lincoln and played a lot of different positions and can play a lot of different positions. How versatile have you been, do you think, to this offense and this team here this week?
To this team, I've played 3 different positions, but really I only may play 1 running back.
Colby Hamill, your head coach, is here as an assistant too. How big is it to have him here? And you know, only had 1 year with him, but it was a great year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed having him as a coach, and I really enjoyed having him here. It's a lot of fun, great time.
Logan Meyer from Lincoln, appreciate the time. Best of luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dusty. 5:12 to play, third quarter in this Division I All-Star game, the 39th annual All-Star games here at Beloit. We did not have games, of course, with COVID the 1 year. Teams were selected, but we did not have a game. And this is the 16th year that we've been involved in the 8-man All-Star game. Started back in 2009. Arguably, it's been that long. Here is the kick by Heischel. Left-footed kicker, a little onside squibber to the near side, and it is covered. Well done there by Cothers. He was alert, ready to go for that one. Second time we've seen the West try that. They tried it to start the ball game. Neither time they've been successful. So the D1 East will start. Excellent field position at their own 39 from the near hash mark, moving left to right, trailing now by 10, 36-26. But a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, these are all-stars. So when you try that squib, it's usually against a lineman with no hands in the ball. Well, this is against a kid that's made great catches in the ball game, so he's going to come up with that onside.
Wunderlich, the quarterback in the gun. To his right hip is Massey. Wants to throw. Crossing pattern. Short gain of about 4 to Cothers, who's kind of turned into his favorite target over the course of the second quarter here into the third.
Yeah, and Rodriguez really can't cover that any better. It's just a really accurate throw, and the secondary is right there to make the tackle for the short gain.
So second down and 6 at the D1 West 38. D1 East with the ball trailing by 10. Receiver to the left. Tight formation. Take the handoff, and it is Wunderlich on a quarterback keep. Angles left, cuts back, and meanders his way to the 29. Gain of 8 and a first down. And on the stop was Jonathan Mader of Hoxie.
We've seen that play a half a dozen times, and every time there's been good yards. They're just getting a good feel on the linebackers because those defensive ends are getting that wide rush, so they're taking themselves out of it, so that the blocker on that just blocks down on the linebacker, and it's an easy run. And that's what the threat of that pass does. You just ignore those rush ends, let them get upfield and run right up underneath them.
First down and 10. This time the ball placed at the far hash mark at the 29 in West Territory. East with the football. Trio receivers to the near side, one to the far. Wunderlich under pressure, dumps it off, and that is Vanura crossing over to the far side of the field. And he was just kind of a relief valve, I think, and he's able to pick up 3. That's better than taking a sack. Second down and 7.
Because both defensive ends were there with the pressure. Krause, and I believe it was, number 23, which is Jaden Nuss out of Hill City, and he was actually grabbing the quarterback as he threw it, but it was still somehow an accurate throw and a catch for good yards on first down.
Second down and 7 at the 26 for the D1 East in the blue uniforms with the gray pants, and all the players, I should say, both teams wearing their high school helmets here at the All-Star Games. That's been tradition from the very beginning. Wunderlich, a low snap, goes down to grab it, and then he is wrestled to the turf by Logan Meyer of Lincoln, and a loss back to the 31.
And then we've seen, sometimes in the past, we've seen that shotgun snap has been a real issue in the games. Today it hasn't been until right there, and that was kind of a big play there because now you got 3rd and long, and you're down 2 scores for the first time in the ball game. So this is going to, obviously early, a lot of points to go, but this is a big play.
Absolutely. D1 East facing a 3rd and 12 at the D1 West 31, trailing by 10 with 2:47 to go in the third quarter. Wunderlich been in the gun all game long, fakes it to Massey, keeps it. They're thinking 2 downs to get a first down, but didn't get much this time. Wow. Jumping right into the fray and making the tackle for the D1 West.
Dwight Gardner was one of them. There was somebody else.
And Caden Morgan is playing some defense now, came in for a pop, too.
Yep.
So now you got a 4th down and 11, only gain of 1.
But they knew it was 2 downs to get it. So what did they do? They ran that run play that's been 6 to 15 yards every time. But what do good teams and good coaches do? They adjusted. The end didn't get upfield, so all of a sudden when you go block down on a linebacker, that defensive end is right in the hole.
So 4th and 11, D1 East will go for it at the D West 30. Moving to our right. Receiver left, one receiver to the near. Wunderlich throws. Coming out of the backfield is the running back, Massey, and he's hit and dropped by Gardner, Wichita County. Great open field tackle. Massey made the catch. He had some room to run if he breaks that tackle, but could not. And he's dropped at the 24. They needed 11. They picked up 7.
Well, and that's what I said in the first quarter, that I saw the difference in these two teams is the West can get to the quarterback and can affect the passing game a little bit, and that's what's happening right now. You're disrupting the offense by getting to the quarterback, making him throw earlier than what he wants to throw. And, yeah, it's a throw and a catch, but you needed long yardage on the play, and the quarterback had to get rid of it or it was going to be a sack.
So Morgan back on the field here on offense, the quarterback from La Crosse High School. He's had a big game throwing the football, 333 yards passing. He's thrown the ball 30 times. We still haven't even got to the fourth quarter. Here comes the blitz off the edge. Morgan hit as he throws. Jump ball. Both players wrestling for it. A battle of 22s between Keith Meade and Smith for the East. Far sideline at the 30, and it ends up being knocked down, incomplete.
I noticed a lot of times on first down they like to go deep. I think it's that philosophy of the quick change, and you're going out there and trying to hit them deep because they've had that 7-second drive and 8-second drive. They've hit with some quick scores, and they tried to do it again. Good defense, though.
Gage Burke flanked to the right. A bunch of receivers to the left. Empty backfield. Ready to snap it is Brandon Price of Wichita County is the center. The swing again to Kenner Connect. He dances a lot, but nowhere to go. Making the initial hit was Dalton Morris out of Gonia to slow him down. A loss of a couple.
Well, this is, to me right now, the big drive defensively if you're on the East squad, because if you don't get a stop here, you're going to probably going to give up a drive and a touchdown and be down 3 scores. So you really need a stop. This right here could decide whether this game is not exciting finish to see who wins it or got to get a stop.
3rd down and 11 for the D1 West. The ball resting at the 23. It's taking a long time to get the play in, so they might burn a timeout. We shall see. Kinner Connect and Burke. Wide to the near sideline. Novotny at 6'4" goes to Morgan's right. He's flanked there. And Keith is the running back on the left hip of Morgan. 3rd and 11. 36-26, D1 West. Pass, tipped over, hook and lateral, and it's wide open. Burke gives it to Keith near sideline, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Oh, the D1 West goes into their bag of tricks, and they pull out some magic on the hook and lateral, and it is a 56-yard touchdown for the D1 West. A quick pass to Burke. He flips it to Keith, and he had nowhere to go but straight forward down the sideline to pay dirt. What a play, and the D1 West now up by 16.
Well, you knew, and you saw it coming because you're talking about how long it took to get the play in and get everybody on the same page. So they probably worked on that once this week in practice, and it's the old hook and ladder. And as I said, this play is going to be huge to see what happens in this ball game. And you can see the momentum, and you can just see the body language right now out of the East squad. That was a big blow.
Yes, absolutely was. And Burke, did a nice job. We'll talk about here in a second. As Trent Long's in at quarterback for the 2-point try. 2 receivers left, including Kinner Connect. Hand it off, trying to get outside is Logan Meyer. He cannot, so it stays a 2-possession game. Big stop by the East. 42-26, with 24 seconds go in the 3rd quarter. But there are times when you run the hook and ladder, and it is rushed. The guy that's going to pitch it forgets to catch it because the play doesn't work if you don't catch the initial pass or toss. And then it was set up perfectly. And it did take a long time in the huddle. I thought they might call a timeout, might run out of time, but apparently they did not. And so Brock Keith of Meade, 5'10", 185-pounder, ran for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 11 receiving touchdowns, 500 yards receiving. So he's a multi-purpose back. He can run it, he can catch it. And he now has 3 touchdown receptions for a total of 153 yards. And he's a running back. And by the way, Morgan is now up to 387 yards passing. The record's 433. Set back in 2011, actually 2014 by Coggefeller, Wallace County.
So there's only one way he's not going to get that.
Let's go to Dusty.
Not throw the ball anymore. You know that's not happening.
Gage Burke from La Crosse with us. So they were just talking about how much you have to focus on that hook and ladder. It didn't get to you perfect, but you're able to execute it. What do you see, and how much stress were you under there?
Not much stress. I like to stay calm and do the right play. I saw that the DN hit it, but I wasn't even worried because I got the best running back on this field right now behind me, and I know he just has to get the ball, and he will take care of business.
I'm going to let him kick off here real quick.
Here's the kickoff by Heischel. He kicks it deep this time, and into the end zone for a touchback, back to Dusty.
You talked about that. Did you work on that play during the week, or was that something that you just kind of put in late?
No, we worked on it during the week, but, the one time we did run it, I ran it wrong. I just caught the ball and took off with it. So this was the first time running it right, and I'm glad I did it when it counted.
How fun is it to have your quarterback, Morgan, here to be able to experience this with him?
Oh, dude, it's so great. We both came here expecting to play defense, and knowing that we're back to the QB and receiver duo that we've had for 3 years and counting, it's awesome, man. I love it. Love every second of it.
Gage Burke, La Crosse, thanks for the time, man.
Yes, sir.
So D1 East with the football. Trailing by 16. Here's Massey. Has a hole. He exploits it. Takes on one defender. Now it's a foot race. Near sideline, midfield 40. And shoulder tackled out of bounds by Trent Long to save a touchdown at the 35. A pickup on the play of 29 for Massey. His first big run of the day.
That stop on the point after touchdown was huge as we're approaching the end of the 3rd quarter here. Probably one more play if it stays in bounds. But you've got touchdown and get 2 touchdowns and get point after touchdowns, then it's obviously still just a 2-score game. Of course, the biggest issue as you're treading is try to stop this West offense.
So D1 East trailing 42-26, 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. D1 East after the big pickup of 29 from Massey. Wunderlich back to throw. Heaves it down the middle. Has a man open, and he can't haul it in. Tucker Grow slightly overthrown a little bit. He puts up his left paw at the 6 and nearly brought it in one-handed, but can't, as Rodriguez was a step behind on the coverage. So D1 East had an opportunity there. Can't quite connect.
Just a little high. That's why you work on that catching the end of the ball with one hand to bring that in, and you work on that a little bit, then it's pretty easy to do, but it was a little high.
So second down and 10 at the 36-yard line for the D1 East from the near hash in West Territory, trailing by 16. Biggest deficit of the day. They go to Massey, and Massey has no chance against Christopher Michelle of Wichita County, who had 12 sacks this year, 6'2", 220, brings down Massey. Once again, Wichita County versus Linden. That was the matchup in the state title game that Linden won in snowy conditions. That brings us to the end of the third quarter. D1 West 42, D1 East All-Stars 26. Back with the final 12 minutes action after this 1-minute timeout. This is the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. Wade Gerstner, Todd Clover, Matthew Rice, Dusty Deines back with you. 8-man Division I All-Star Game. We are set to begin the fourth quarter. D1 West leading 42-26. They led 2-0, 8-0, trailed 12-8, led 20-12, then trailed 26-20, and now they have scored the last 22 unanswered, and they lead 42-26. They outscored the East 14-0 in that third stanza. D1 East with the football. We flip ends. They're going to our left on 3rd and 10. Wunderlich hit and dropped. Sack for the D1 West coming through is Hunter Holmgren from his nose guard position from El Saline at 5'6", 160. And he drops the boom on Wunderlich for the sack back to the midfield stripe at the 40.
Well, we're seeing why El Saline had a really good year, went 10-2 this year. They've had some good plays in this ball game, and just a huge play on 3rd and long, and he had enough time to throw, just nobody was open, and he had to hold it too long because nobody could break free of the good coverage. So chalk that up to great play in the secondary.
4th down and 14 for the Division I East Blue All-Stars. Tucker Grow split wide to the left. 3 receivers right. Wunderlich throws. Oh, what a catch. Made across the middle on a crossing pattern. Josiah Banyora. But unfortunately, he had 14 yards. There was pressure, so Wunderlich had to unload it with the blitz. And Banyora was able to pick up about 6 or 7, half the distance that he needed.
An excellent call on that, Wade, because he had to get rid of it, or he's going to get hit, and just not enough time. And that is what I see the difference in these two teams, is being able to get pressure on the quarterback. One team can and the other can't.
Yeah, and you said that early in the contest you spotted that, and it has absolutely been a big key in this game. So the D1 West will take over. Now you expect them to short, safe passes and try to run the ball a little bit, try and milk this clock, leading by 16.
And that's the thing about their short passing game that they have. You know, they can still pass it with that short passing game, and they did show some signs in that third quarter of being able to execute the run game a little bit.
So the D1 West, Andre Vaughn out there on offensive line. Christopher Michelle, Wichita County, is the right guard. You've got Braden Bird split wide to the near side. Kinner connect, Novotny to the left, and Logan Meyer. Morgan wanted to throw, and now he keeps it. Sprint out far side, and he's able to garner a little bit of positive yardage to the 39, a gain of 4. And if you have any doubt right now, don't force anything. Be smart with the football.
Yep. If we had a lineman of the game, I think Christopher Michelle probably might be in line. I don't know how well he's blocked today, but they've had good time to throw. But he's been an excellent receiver.
Yeah, he's got a 2-point conversion, a touchdown catch.
You'll hear that from an offensive lineman very often.
Yeah. 6'2", 220, 12 sacks on defense, and he's playing offense for the most part. Here is Morgan running to his left and gets to the sticks. The yard to gain was the 35, and he's very close to that.
And you're seeing another thing that you can do with Morgan at the quarterback at 6'4", snapping the ball, and the defense is thinking out of the shotgun, pass, because he's on pace to set the passing record in this game. And then they run the football with him. He's the quarterback draw.
Well, he may or may not get to that record. He's at 387, and they have a 16-point lead. But still 11 minutes to go in this game. Could put the final nail in the coffin to score on this drive, though. Here's Logan Meyer of Lincoln. He has a lot of room, and he's able to hit the gas pedal right up the middle for a gain to the 23. Pickup of 14.
And you see 5 different players come out defensively for the East just to try to keep fresh players so they can run to the ball and make plays.
So first down and 10, and the clock will continue to run now that they moved the chains.
See, Frankfurt's in the house. They're getting ready for the next game.
Nick Anderson, head coach for the D2 East. I remember Nick when he was in high school. 10:25 to go in the fourth quarter. D1 West. Morgan. That's long. I've Clifton Clyde into the ball game. He fakes it to running back. Quarterback keep. Forward progress gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. Andre Vaughn, they're trying to block for the D1 West, but it was Cothers that was in on the stop. Cothers from Chase County has had a couple of big catches this game for the D1 East, and we've mentioned Jackson Risley quite a bit from that left defensive end position. And then the nose guard for the D1 East, Noah Collins of Caraparavel. Second down and 10 after no gain for the quarterback Long. Now Long throws, quick pass to the outside to Kinner Connect, and a gain of just a couple.
And this is that short passing game. Just get it out quick. You don't have to worry about a sack, make somebody miss a tackle, but excellent play in the secondary by the East, making the tackle for short gain. Going to bring up 3rd and long, 4-down territory here, almost 10 yards to go. And see, you got Morgan back in to throw the football.
So 3rd down and 9 facing D1 West. The ball inside the 23. Both teams have all 3 timeouts in their back pocket. D1 West in control. They lead the all-time series 12-10 in the D1 game. They won last year 28-22. So Bird of Meade split on this near sideline in front of the East bench. And the slot is Kinner Connect. And Keith there as a wingback. Morgan lobs it out. Dangerous pass. It's knocked down and away by Brock Griffin of Chase County. There really wasn't much there. Michelle was out there to perhaps block as well, but there just wasn't anything there. And the D1 West, fortunate that wasn't a turnover, and the incomplete pass stops the clock with 8:50 to play. D1 West faced with a 4th and 9 at the D1 East 22.
Yeah, Brock Griffin with excellent coverage, and that's just, once again, the confidence that Morgan has in his ability to throw the football and his receivers to come up with catches versus tight coverage.
West with the football at the East 22-yard line from the near hash. Keith out on the pass pattern. They throw to him out of the backfield and incomplete. Morgan led him too far. And so the D1 West could have run the ball a few times there and milked some clock instead. 2 incompletions back-to-back. Passes that hit the turf, and D1 East more than happy to accept that. So the East takes over, trailing by 16 with 8:46 to go in the fourth.
Ran a little bit of time, but they were pretty conservative. They really short passes and did run the ball, and that's obviously not their strength, but it's also you got to be smart. And they were taking time. They weren't getting up the huddle. They were letting a lot of time run after they did run the football, so some time did come off the clock.
Tucker Grow, flank to the right. Wing back left side for this offensive formation. Wunderlich with the crouch in the gun. Hands it off to Massey. And Massey is twisted to the turf. Nice tackle by Rodriguez, who had the interception early game from Rollins County. And gain of 2 for Massey, who's been bottled up so far. 9 carries, 47 yards. Wunderlich, 17 carries, 150. Wunderlich's thrown for 138. And the D1 West Morgan, Caden Morgan of La Crosse, has thrown for 387. Trace Kinnick of Quinter with 9 receptions, 119 yards. Brought Keith Meade 5 catches for 153 and 3 touchdowns. Second down and 7. Ball resting at the 25. Wunderlich has the football. Heaves it as he gets blitzed, just throwing it up on a seam pass to the intended target, which is Tucker Grow, and well covered there by Rodriguez and incomplete. And once again, Todd, Wunderlich there did about all he could do, and that is just throw it up and hope my guy can make a play because he had a guy in his midsection.
Yeah, excellent call, Wade. He's not able to step forward and throw the football. He's basically just just getting rid of it. And when it was thrown, I thought it was thrown to Rodriguez because he had great coverage on the play. It was just overthrown, or Rodriguez probably gets the interception.
Wunderlich awaiting the snap from his center, Peyton Taylor of Harrington. Set up the screen. There's some room for Bonura, who's very quick and shifty, and he has a first down. Tackled from behind by Jonathan Mader of Hoxie. But a gain on the play of 8, move the chains.
Well, that's your play call when the other team is getting after your quarterback, maybe blitzing a little bit. You run a screen pass and make them pay, and that's the knee went down pretty quick. I think they got a pretty good spot on the play. But that's how you attack a team that is really getting after your quarterback. You run some screen plays to try and slow up that rush.
It's a first down and 10 for the East at their own 33 from the near hash mark, moving to our left, trailing 42-26. Need a score on this drive. Wunderlich has some time. Delivers the bullet. It is caught by Tucker Groh at the midfield stripe at the 40. Pickup of 7. Nice throw by Wunderlich.
Yeah, he had time that time, but it was a short pattern. And right now that's what they're having to do because of these guys rushing the passer. You see lots of hands-on hips from some of those pass rushers. We've talked about Krause a lot, and he's been pretty active, but he's got a motor on him, but that motor's getting low on gas right now. But he'll be going hard.
Second down and 4. The ball resting at the 39 is where they officially place it. It's shy of the midfield stripe. 40 is midfield stripe in 8-man football, 80-yard field. Here's Wunderlich. He's flushed, and now he has a lot of room ahead of him. A lot of daylight. Cuts back at the 30, down to the 25, finally brought down at the 23. Pickup of 18 for Wunderlich, who has been very patient when he's run the football, as evidenced by his 48 and 33-yard scampers early in the game for touchdowns.
And that's what happens when you have 4 guys going after the quarterback. So you're short one guy in the secondary, and you're in man coverage, and everybody's running deep. There was 20 yards of space with everybody running backwards. No idea that Wunderlich had broke free on the run.
Under 7 to play here in the fourth quarter, 42-26. West with the lead over the East in the Division I All-Star game. Wunderlich steps into a pass, has a man open. Andrew Smith, touchdown! Perfectly placed football once again by Wunderlich, right into the breadbasket of Andrew Smith. 23-yard connection, and the East within 10, and a very important 2-point conversion pending.
Yeah, it hasn't been I'm being kind when I say it hasn't been a strength of either team today offensively with the 2-point conversion. So let's see what the coaches come up here. It's got to be the best play call they've had today to get this to be a 1-score game with 6:38 to go.
Andrew Smith, an interception, now a touchdown catch. Wunderlich sends Bonura to his left. Quarterback draw up the middle, and Wunderlich is in for the 2-point conversion. And the D1 West lead has been shaved in half from 16 to 8 with 6:38 to go in the fourth. 42-34 West with the lead. And now they'll have to get something done and milk some clock on the next possession and kind of go back to throwing the football and incomplete passes, stopping the clock. And East kind of the new lease on life on that drive as they go 6 plays. And they go 57 yards, 23-yard pass from Wunderlich to Andrew Smith, and then the 2-point conversion there by Wunderlich. And they're within 1 score, 42-34.
And you know what I'm doing? If I'm calling plays for the West, I'm going to put the ball in Morgan's hands, and I'm going to let him throw the football, and I'm going to say, we're going to go get a touchdown and win this game. And I think that's the difference in today's style of ball is we're going for the points. That's kind of like the Chiefs if you tell Mahomes to pass with a 7-point lead with 5 minutes to go. Now, just go get a field goal. Yeah. Or in this case, a touchdown. Because the alternative to that is run the ball, which is not your strength, and there's a lot of time to go. So now if there was 2 minutes to go, I'd say run the ball. But 6:38, there's multiple possessions to go here.
And both teams have 3 timeouts,
yeah,
too.
Go get points.
So the D1 West with the 8-point lead, 42-34. It's been a back-and-forth affair, although the West has kind of controlled things here in the second half. Dave Dubert, the 8-man chair, told us before the game, if this first game runs long, that once they get people off the field from the first game, he said 45 minutes until game 2 would start. So we'll see if that still holds true, because we will definitely, well, I say definitely, I guess Yeah, I'd say definitely, because we're going to have timeouts and everything else in a one-score game. 6:38 to go in the fourth.
This could be a long 6:38.
Yeah, right.
They got 7 people up for a short kick here.
So the East, they could try the onside kick. They could kick it deep. They have a few options here. I would imagine they'll kick it deep.
I'd kick it deep.
Darbro to do the honors.
It's been one of the best all-star games I've seen. Just good play all around.
Got a few penalties, but nothing really bad. A couple early. Players making plays. That's what you expect in an all-star game. They are going to try the onside kick. And it's picked up by Kinderconnect, and he can return this near side and knocked out of bounds at the 17. There's a flag on the play on the far side at the 39. So Kinderconnect picked it up.
I think they're calling they touched it before it went 10 yards. That should be the call.
So we'll see how they sort all this out. As it sits now, the West would have the ball at the East 16-yard line. Just trying to kind of run some interference with a couple of guys, the East were, and then have one of the guys with good hands try to grab that ball, but they got to make sure it goes 10, of course. Now, the receiving team can go up and get it at any point when they want to, although once it touches them, now it's fair game even if it's within 10, and that is the call. Legal touching on the East. The West declines the penalty, and the West says, we will be happy to take the football at the East 16-yard line, leading by 8.
That was a great call because it was the official. Clear on the other side is the only one that is available with the alignment, with having 6 officials to be able to see that. And he saw it all the way across the field. He didn't touch it very much, but he did at 9 yards. We would have liked to have that at Oregon several years ago.
So first down and 10 for the West at the East 16. Moving to our right towards the West end zone here at Trojan Field in Beloit. Field looks terrific. Rodney Paul did a great job, and member of his staff to getting that ready. The give is to Keith. Oh, what a nice jump stop and jump step and jab, and he's inside the 10 and down to the 7. That's a gain of 9. That's one of the best runs of the day for the West.
Yeah, just really impressed with the running backs in this game. Not for yards rushing, but it's everything else. It's the receiving, and then, you can't have yards rushing when you don't run the football. But had an opportunity to run it there, and Keith made the guy miss in the hole, and actually miss bad. He did. If this would have been touch football, he'd have still been running.
Second one at the 7. Morgan standing straight up at the 11 in the shotgun position to his hip. Meyer from Lincoln. Kinderconnect and Gage Burke are to the left. Tight end, 3-point stance, Novotny to the right. Give is to Meyer, straight ahead, and Meyer breaks one tackle, trying to force his way in the end zone. What a run by Meyer, into a brick wall, then broke through that wall. He had picked up the first down. They had 1 yard, but then he's able to pick up 5 down to the 2.
A lot of times you'll see that because you're going to have some really tired tacklers that are a little bit higher, and you got a fresh running back that is strong. You can see he's been in the weight room. And just a really strong run. And that's when you just hope they don't fight too hard and then get hit and lose possession of the football.
So first and goal at the 2 for the West. Trying to milk some clock here with 5:30 and ticking fourth quarter. They lead 42-34. Morgan gets the snap. Hand off to Meyer. Meyer, the Lincoln Leopard, into the end zone for the touchdown, and the D1 West with the response pushes the lead back to 2 scores at 48-34, pending the upcoming 2-point conversion. Pretty impressive drive there by the West. I say impressive drive. It actually started at the 16 because of the onside kick that was returned by Kinderconnect all the way down to the 16. But 3 very impressive plays and at all running the football. So now they will go for 2.
That was the impressive part, was do something they really haven't done, haven't tried to do, and that was just be physical up front and knock people off the ball and run it in from 16 yards on just 3 plays, and really weren't challenged up front on any of the 3.
Morgan has a run to his right and Kinderconnect to his left, Meyer to his right. Morgan keeps it, and D1 East not fooled by the formation whatsoever. Cothers is there on the tackle against Morgan, and also Worth making the stop for the D1 East. So 5:15 to go. West leads 48-34. 34.
Well, the good part about onside kicking and having them run it back to your 16, they only had to run 3 plays before they scored, so there's still a lot of time left.
Didn't take a lot of time off the clock.
Didn't take a lot of time off the clock because, you kick it deep, they're probably still, so it might have worked out okay because now you get the ball back, you're going to have at least 2, and if things somehow go your way, 3 possessions when you're only down 2 scores. So it did get more time instead of letting the opponent, because if you're running like they were running the football there and you're starting at your own 20, 25-yard line, you could run the clock out after timeouts were called. So still lots of time to go. This is 8-man football and a big play, and you're right back in this.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 15 seconds, plus the East has all 3 of their timeouts. But they certainly have to score on this possession, trailing by 14.
And this has been one of the differences, too, is you've got a West team that's been able to kick the ball into the end zone, starting the opponent at the 15, making tackles inside the 10. The field position has been won in this ball game with special teams and the 2 points on the safety, which is really important right now. So the special teams has been a big win in this game for the West with the point after touchdown and huge field position advantage for them.
Big thank you to the trainers. Steve Schrader's been doing this for 30 years, 8-man All-Star games, and he has a student trainer, Taylor Lepai. Thanks to the officials, Dylan Provost, Zeke Hagee, James Garrettson, Easton Burton, and Mark Zarbanicki for providing their time as the officials and the trainers for the 8-man games here today. It's greatly appreciated. Here's a kickoff by Heischel from the 30. High, deep kick, well done, and into the end zone, and it's a touchback. And that's exactly what you want from your kicker there. Don't have to cover the kick at all, and put the opposing team at their own 15-yard line to start this ensuing drive after the West was able to score 3 plays, 16 yards. A reminder that you can listen to these games on 8manallstars.com, KD Country 94 here in Glen Elder, and on our affiliates, KR 92 in Belleville, FM 95.5 KNDY Marysville, 98.9, 1540 KMCP in McPherson, 99.3, 1370 Coyle in Iola, 92.3, 1510 KLQR in Larned. First down at 10 for the East, trailing by 14. Wunderlich fires it deep right side, jump ball, and it is caught. Tucker Grove of Chase County with the catch. Far sideline at the 37. Gain of 27.
Can't cover the guy any better, but it's a jump ball, and the offense is the guy that reacts to it. The defense, that's just so hard for the defense to know when to turn around, and just goes up and catches the football. So just good execution. Really impressed. Probably the best game I've seen overall with multiple guys that can go catch the football and make plays when the ball is thrown against tight coverage.
Wunderlich's thrown for over 200 and ran for 168. Morgan has thrown for 387 for the West. We'll go to the sideline in a moment as Wunderlich breaks one tackle, sheds a second, sidesteps another, and then a flag is thrown as forward progress down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 5 of it. Stands, let's go to Dusty.
It's Trace Kinderconnect from Quinter with us. Tracy, a big score there to get the 2-possession lead again at 48-34. You had a touchdown earlier. How fun has it been to play with this group and be a part of this team?
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so glad God brought them into my life and gave me the chance to be here this weekend and compete. It's everything that I could have ever dreamed.
When you look at the guys that you've been bashing heads against over the last 4 years and being able to kind of come together as a group, how hard was it? Was it quick? Did you click pretty fast?
Oh, all the guys are great. I mean, we went from people that we barely knew each other and just hated, but this week has brought us really close together, and I'm so glad I got to be a part of this and get to know them.
We're going to run this play. I'll have one question for you after that.
Penalty on the East, so they're back at their own 37-yard line, faced with a 1st and 16. They marked it from the spot of the foul. 3 receivers left. Wunderlich dumps it off, left flat, and it's dropped. Massey had it, lost it, never had possession, so it's not a fumble. Incomplete pass back to Dusty.
Trace, what's it going to take here to finish this one off and get the win for the West?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I give it all to my teammates. They've given it to us, and they've made it easy for each and every one of us, and we just came together as a brotherhood, and God is great, man.
What did you see on the onside kick?
Well, I kind of got scared. I just saw the ball rolling towards me, and all of a sudden it just came free, and I just saw open field and decided to take it.
Trace Kinderconnect from Quinter, thanks for the time, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, a little bit scared, but then I got the ball like, hey, touchdown, touchdown. Not quite, but it was a good return. He's had a big day. Skinner today, 119 yards receiving, touchdown catch. Wunderlich back to throw again. Now takes off and is sandwiched by Kraus and also by Hunter Holmgren of El Saline. And he is drilled from both sides, is Wunderlich, but he's able to pick up a few.
It was Kraus on the first play that created the holding call that backed this offense up. So I don't know if we have a defensive player of the game, but he has to be in the conversation and the high end of the conversation.
Yes, I would concur with that. 3rd down and 10 for the East. We saw the West run no huddle a lot there in the first half. The East not really running no huddle too much so far, and they are faced with a 14-point deficit. 3rd down and 10 at the West 37. Moving to our left with 4 minutes to go. 48-34 West with the lead. Pair of receivers right, one receiver flank left. That is Tucker Grill. Wunderlich gets a snap, takes to the running back, dances a little bit. Now scurries to his right, lobs it up, wide open, far sideline, Bonura. And Bonura has a 1st down and more, far sideline, knocked out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. And so the D1 East continues to stay alive here.
You see Wunderlich going to the official. He says, hey, Kraus hit me again. Make sure he's hitting me in time. I don't know what he's saying, but he was talking to the official. So that's a quarterback using his legs, just getting that extra second or two, and eventually a receiver breaks open. And you're seeing some tired guys right now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of fatigue out there.
No question. And then when that sun comes out and a little bit more humid after we had some rain, adds to it. But thankfully it's not 100 degrees. High expected of 84, 75 at kickoff, 79 at halftime. So 1st down and 10 at the 12 for the East. Moving to our left. In motion is Jalen Massey. Wunderlich keeps. Tries to bounce outside. Is chopped down low and dropped. No gain. Running right as is Wyatt Gardner, Wichita County, with another big-time stick and a timeout call by D1 East. They have 2 remaining. Wunderlich has 20 carries for 172 yards, 224 yards passing. So he has 396 yards of total offense. Caden Morgan of La Crosse for the West, he's run for 34, thrown for 387, so he has over 400 yards of total offense. So it's kind of how the game is nowadays. Your quarterbacks, they have to be able to run and throw the ball to be a multi-threat. And we see the teams that usually go deep in the playoffs, and especially when state championships, they tend to have an electric guy at quarterback.
And the all-time record is 451 yards of total offense. That's Austin Unruh of Gospel in 09 and 14 Wallace County. We talked about the passing yards. Kyle Gefeller also has some rushing yards. So 451, that's a lot of yards. And this is when it's tough. I know you got to get points on the board, but you need those timeouts to stop the clock. They kind of taking their time here between plays, but you got to understand, they've had a couple of days of practice. It's kind of hard to run a hurry-up offense with a couple of days. There's a lot of stuff you got to get in. That's something you hope with 20, 30, 40, 50 practices during the year, you get that hurry-up offense ready to go. So I know people are thinking, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Well, we've had 2 days, and this is all new to all these guys. So they're doing a really good job with the limited practice time they have. This is, we got to score here. And then they'll figure out what happens when they try to get the ball back.
West led 8-0. East led 12-8 into 1. West led 28-26 at halftime, 42-26 into 3. West leads here 48-34, 3:29 to go, 4th quarter. Wunderlich in the gun. Massey to his left. Throws a slant, and it's behind the receiver, but making a great adjustment. Tucker Rowe of Chase County, and he's able to snatch it for the touchdown from 13 yards out. And the East not done yet, down by 8, 48-40.
Yeah, just a great adjustment by Tucker Grow on the play because the ball was not accurate, and it's a slant pattern, and he breaks down, goes to the ground, and catches it. There's absolutely nothing that the defender can do on the play because of where the ball is thrown and the great adjustment by Grow.
If you're wondering about most points combined in a 8-man game between 2 teams, it's 104. We're at 88. Still Todd. Wunderlich in the gun on the 2-point try. He keeps lead block by Massey, and also leading the way over there was Ian Bryant of Perryville with a great block, and Wunderlich is able to burrow his way into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and the D1 East down now by just 6, 48-42. They've trailed the entire second half, and D1 West, we'll see if they can respond with 3:25 to play. The East has 2 timeouts. So they'll have to get it done on defense and make a stand, trailing by 6.
Well, and as you say that, they've pretty much made it known that they're going to onside kick.
Yeah.
Because if you did it earlier, you pretty much have to now, especially when you used one of your timeouts. So, that's going to be huge because if you don't get it, then obviously the other team is probably going to score and or at least have great field position. And if you do get the ball back, you're going to have to go a long way in a limited amount of time. So the onside kick here is going to be huge. And who knows, now they might kick it deep.
Yeah, they might. The last one was returned to the 16, so maybe they'll kick it deep. We shall see. We'll find out in just a moment. D2 game coming up. It will not start at 1:30 as we're almost at 1 o'clock here, and we still have 3:25 to go. As Todd accurately predicted very early after the first quarter of this first game that we would be running late today. We've been told there'll be 45 minutes between games if we're running late. 45 minutes on the clock once they clear the field. There'll be a lot of pictures and hugs and tears of joy and excitement. And, of course, for most of these players, this is the last football game they're going to play. It's the final 3:25 of their football careers. There are a few that are going to go on and play college football. Jalen Massey's going to Washburn. Caston Worth's going to Butler County. Andre Vaughn's going to play football at Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska. Brock Griffin's going to play baseball at Fort Hays State. Here's the onside kick, and Novotny, man, he just jumps up and grabs it with those huge hands of his at 6'4". He's got quite the wingspan. That's the guy you want to have on the all-hands team up front. And he easily hauls it in. And so the D1 West with the ball thrown 39, chance to put this one to bed.
And as I said earlier, those are not your normal guys on a fall evening recovering those onside kicks. Those are great athletes.
Let's go to Dusty.
Tucker Grow with us here. He might have to go on defense, so we're going to do this quick. What do you see on the adjustment on that touchdown?
Coach told me, he said, if you pick it, post or fade, and I saw my defender lined up to the sideline more, and I said Florida, and we ran I said Pennsylvania, and we ran our post, and kind of tell you, good communication with my quarterback.
We'll let him run this play.
Logan Meyer at the middle, trying to make some clock gain of a couple.
What's the experience been like for you, Tucker, this week to have a couple teammates and your coach here as well?
It's awesome. I mean, I came into this like, this is going to be a good old camp. A lot of two-a-days what I was worried about, but it's just an experience. I hope everyone can go through it. All these guys are amazing. I love them all, and I wouldn't change for anything.
What's it going to take to finish this, get another touchdown and win this game?
Dogfight. We have that dog mentality. We just got to keep going. Can't cut our heads down in bad body language.
Tucker Grow from Chase County. Appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
He made quite the adjustment on that pass with the touchdown. That has given the East the opportunity to come back here, and the East calling a timeout. That is their second. They have one remaining. 3:18 to play. West 48, the East 42, an 8-man Division I All-Star game. Some of the plans for some of these players, Jace Wonderlick is going to study cybersecurity in college. Alex Smith of South Sumner is going to be in the Marine Corps. We appreciate him for his service ahead of time. Jalen Massey is going to play football at Washburn. Tucker Grow, you just heard from, is going to study finance and hopefully do athletics at the next level. Mike Cothers of Chase County Athletic Training hopes to play some football. Or maybe even wrestling, I think, in college. Asad Bonilla of Caraparavel is going to major in business and music. Dalton Morrison of Ogonia, K-State, is going to go there, electrical engineering. Caston Worth of Linden is going to play football at Butler Community College. Jeremiah Prince of Sedan, pilot school. How about that? Jackson Ridgely of South Sumner, football at the next level. Gage Bowers of Pretty Prairie, who had to go home earlier in the week undecided. Carter Stansbury of Little River is going to be farmer. Andrew Smith, Little River, athletic training and physical therapy. Brock Griffin of Chase County is going to go to Fort Hays State to play baseball. Noah Collins of Caraparavel going to Harding, Arkansas to study pre-law. I can already tell you Noah's smarter than me. Ian Bryan of Caraparavel, undecided. Peyton Taylor Harrington going to Missouri Western. He'll be law enforcement. Caleb Anschutz of Linden is going to architecture engineering, and Lane Dubb of Madison is going to study ag business. West with the ball, second down at 8. The handoff Logan Meyer. He has stood up and knocked down immediately as it was Dalton Morrison in on the tackle, along with Jackson Risley. Logan Meyer back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is all. And the East, I would imagine, will go ahead and call their final timeout here, and they do. And that gives us the opportunity with 3:13 to play here in the fourth quarter. West up 48-42 to tell you about the West All-Stars, what their plans are. Brandon Price of Wichita County is going to Wichita State, physical therapy. Braden Burton Mead, respiratory therapist. Katie Morgan's going to go to Kansas Wesleyan. I tell you, the way he played today, maybe Kansas Wesleyan put him on a football team. Logan Meyer hopes to play football in college. Gage Burke of lacrosse business. Wyatt Gardner of Wichita County going to Friends for elementary education. Jonathan Mater Hoxie hopes to track and field or football at the next level. Ryder Dent El Saline, Fort Hays State University, construction management. Brian Rodriguez, Rollins County, he wants to be an electrician. Joseph Heischer of El Saline, aerospace engineer. Trace Kinner Quinter, NCK Tech, to study electrical. Brock Keith of Meade, business. Jaden Nuss of Hill City going to Fort Hays State University, exercise science. Hunter Holmgren of El Saline is going to be a lineman. Peter Krause of Rollins County, electrical. Andre Vaughn of Hoxie going to play football at Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska. Trent Long of Cook to Clyde, undecided. Corey Michek of Trigo, proud sponsors, not sponsors, but have to be proud with the Trigo graduates, Dusty Deines and Wade Gerstner. We're so old, people don't remember us, Todd. Cloud County Community College for Corbin, Wind Technology, Christopher Michelle, Wichita County going to Wichita State, and Justice Novotny of Skyline, undecided on his future plans. So here we go, back to the action after the timeout. Third down and a long 8 for the West. They are checking the play on their wristbands. Logan Meyer, the running back, the left hip of Caden Morgan, who's thrown for 387 yards. Might have to throw it here, and then Meyer stepped forward and didn't continue to go in motion. Thus, it's a procedural call on the D1 West, and that's an important penalty. It makes it that much tougher for the West as they are faced with a 3rd and 14, with 3:13 to go in the fourth quarter.
Kind of controlled this ball game, but they're not finishing well,
no.
And you're seeing the East squad making a run here. If they get a stop, they're going to have all kinds of time, and they've looked good on their point after touchdowns. They're going to run wonder on the extra points. Wonderlick's going to run the football. So if they get the score, they know what to do on the point after touchdown because they've looked good the last couple times with him running the ball.
Well, you saw hook and lateral for a hook and lateral for 56 yards. That was a trick play that was huge. And see if they got some kind of new trick in their bag here.
Get most of it and go on forth.
That's right. And now a timeout call by the West. We'll keep it here.
Because right now you can't be very confident that you're going to get a stop with 3 minutes to go.
Mm-mm.
You need to win this with your offense. Now, obviously, you're going to punt it if you don't get anything here.
Big thanks to our sponsors here locally, Central Valley Ag, the Brush Group in Downs, Cunningham Fiber, the Schooler Company in Downs, Guarantee State Bank and Trust Company. Also Thompson OK Tire and Beloit, Remus Farms Chemical and Fertilizer, NCK Tech College, Miller Welding in Downs, and NCKSports.com.
I'll tell you what's been open on this is Kidder Connect in the slot and running a post with the split, getting him deep, taking the coverage, and then Kinder Connect out of that slot, going up underneath that. That's what has been open a few times in this ball game. If I'm one of the assistant coaches and I've been watching that, I'm saying, hey, we need to come back to that. It's the skinny post by the slot with running the coverage off with your split end. So that's what I would go to in this situation.
And as you said, they could pick up, say, 8 or 9. They'd probably be looking at going for it on a 4th and 4, 4th and 5, 4th and 6.
Yep.
And we saw them punt earlier, and it went about 10 yards. That was the only time they punted in the game, by the way. So the crowd getting into it here. East fans on our side, West fans on the other side. Caden Morgan in the gun. He's probably got to air it out at least one more time here. He rolls right. He keeps it. He's looking to run, and then he smartly stays in bounds, or did he stay in bounds? They tackle, they shoved him out, and Morgan gave himself up, and they're going to go ahead and let the clock run. He did get down just in time, so Morgan, no gain on the play, so a conservative call there by the West, very conservative, and almost went out of bounds.
But they got a good job by the official. He called forward progress because Morgan stopped, and then he got pushed backwards, which got him out of bounds. He stopped so he wouldn't go out of bounds. He got pushed out of bounds, but he got the forward progress that he should have got. Great job by this officiating.
Remember, the only time the West punted in this game, it went about 10 or 11 yards. So it's a big punt for Trent Long of Clifton Clyde.
And they got all kinds of time to put a touchdown and score the point after touchdown and win this thing.
Absolutely. 2:20 on the clock and ticking, fourth quarter. West up 48-42. Good snap. Here's the punt. Oh, Long boots it deep. It's bouncing and is picked up at the 1 by Bonura. He spins out of one tackler, but not a second. Dropped at the 5. Huge tackle made on special teams by Wyatt Gardner of Wichita County. What a play by him. What a senior year he had at Wichita County. Led his team to the state title game. He ran for 1,600 yards and 24 touchdowns. He threw for 1,022 touchdowns. And and he's not the quarterback in this game. That's pretty good stuff, too. And so that was a huge tackle. They mark it officially at the 6 is where Bonura went down. A great punt, though. Got to give Long credit.
Yeah, Long with a long punt of 44 yards, and then you get good coverage.
Yeah, net of about 40. So the East, with no timeouts, 2:05 on the clock. They get a touchdown, a two-pointer. They win the game. Moving to our left, and it's a low snap, and it's kicked around. Wonderlic trying to grab it. He does, but he is drawn down in the end zone, and that will be a safety. The game started with a safety for the West, and it may perhaps end on a safety by the West. Bookend safeties for the West, and they lead 50-42 with 2 minutes to go. It was a low snap. Wonderlic then trying to find the ball as it bounced around, and once he found it, he had to dive on it. Unfortunately, he was in the end zone, but it's still a smart play by him because he dove on it. It keeps it a one-possession game. If he gives up on the play, it's recovered by the West. They're up by 2 scores. The bad thing, of course, is the East will have to kick the ball away after the safety.
And good job on that. All that being said, you're going to have a free kick from the 15-yard line, so you're going to onside from the 15.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to come down to the onside kick because at this point, with 2 minutes to go, you're pretty much into taking the knee point if you can get possession of this onside kick. So it's going to come down to, multiple onside kicks. And there's been some great kicks. It's been some really, really good plays by the receiving team to recover that. So you just need one really good bounce or, a guy to maybe take his eye off of it, or it just doesn't quite have the angle to get to it. And look who's over here where they've been kicking. But you look, I'd say I try the other side, but look at the athletes on the other side. You got Rodriguez on the other side, and I can't see Burke on the other side. So definitely the hands team is out here.
So, yeah, by 4.5 foot by Wonderlic, you just give up 2 points instead of 6. And, as you said, you have the opportunity to onside kick it, even though it's the free kick after the safety. So the East, they've tried the onside kick a few times. Neither team's been successful so far. And set to kick it off the tee is Lane Darbrough of Madison.
Just need one time.
That's right.
And you still got plenty of time with 2 minutes. And as you said, 8-point game.
Here's the kick, and it's a bouncer up the middle and diving on top of it. Well done at the 35-yard line.
Wow.
Is Jonathan Mader. I don't know if that's what they meant to do, is kick it that hard up the middle, but it really bounced with some momentum deep into the return side of the field, so there was no chance to recover that whatsoever. And so the West should win this game with some kneel downs, leading 50-42 with exactly 2 minutes to play in the 8-man Division I All-Star game.
Yeah, that's a head-scratcher. So, yeah, if you do the math here, you got 25 seconds after the snap. So basically, for 3 plays, you can get about 30 seconds off the clock. So you might have to punt with, say, 20 seconds left if you just take a knee here.
Well, this has been a marathon of a game, but it's been very entertaining. 92 points in this one.
Yeah, we're about 14 minutes longer than the longest game.
Which was unofficial stat?
Which was last year. That's
Todd's unofficial stat.
My official stat.
First and 10 at the 35 to give Logan Meyer of Lincoln. Needs to stay in bounds, and he does twirl out of one tackle, picks up 7, stays in bounds, and now they should be able to take the knees as they burn enough time, I think, with that run by Logan Meyer, who has 7 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. We do not keep track of record for safeties in an 8-man All-Star game, but I'm willing to bet it's at least tied the record or set the record for most safeties in an 8-man game, and in particular by a single team, which the D1 West has 2 safeties. Started this going with a safety on a high snap over the punter Darbrough's head to start the game. The East with a mistake there. Darbrough fell on top of it. That was 2-0 West, and now the West getting a safety as Wonderlic, the snap was low, hit the ground, and he fell on top of it, but in his own end zone for a safety.
Yeah, they're just going to have to take a knee here. And
1:05 to go.
4 snaps.
Shouldn't have to do too much here. Just hold on to the football. Morgan now runs up the middle and is dropped. Gain maybe a yard on the play. Hold on to the ball with 2 hands now.
This is when you say, don't try and do too much. Just go down.
Yeah, don't be a hero.
No. Just go down. We can't lose if you just take a knee.
3rd down and 2. 37 seconds.
Yeah.
Winding down here in the 4th. The West appears will go ahead and win for the 2nd straight year and lead the all-time series in the D1 8-man All-Star games here in Beloit 13-10. And kudos to these kids. They put on quite the show today in this game.
They put on a marathon.
Yes, they did. But it was a good marathon.
It was a really good game.
Now taking a knee is Caden Morgan on the 3rd down and 2, and that wraps it up. The 2024 8-man Division I All-Star game is in the books. And the Division I West All-Stars in the red jerseys winning over the D1 East All-Stars in the blue. Your final score, West 50 and the East 42.
The 3-hour and 11-minute ball game.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and then we'll talk to the coaches on the field, and we'll go over all the stats and more. Back in 2 minutes. This is the 8-man All-Star Game Radio Network. Gerstner, Todd, Clover, Dusty Deines, Matthew Rice back with you here at Trojan Field in Beloit. The 8-man Division I All-Star Game just completed, and it did take 3 hours and 11 minutes. The second game is supposed to start at 1:30, and I think that's the trend we're going to see for a while now. Teams like to throw the ball a lot. We spread the ball around, spread formations, and all 4 teams today running a spread variation. And the Division I West wins the game 50-42. We'll go through the individual and team totals for you. We'll talk to some of the coaches on the field here in our postgame show as well. For everybody down the line on the network, that was our last break. When we close the game, we will play the close, and then we will take a break and get ready for the second game coming up here today from Beloit. And scoring summary, the D1 West, they deferred. D1 East down on the field first track, and Brian Rodriguez with the interception. Brian Rodriguez from Rollins County. D1 West would take advantage because they would eventually get a safety on a snap, on a punt snap over the head of the punter into the end zone, recovered by the punter, but as a safety, West led 2-0. West then scored on a 42-yard pass from Caden Morgan to Trace Kinderconnect, made it 8-0. East would come right back. 48-yard run by Jace Wunderlich made it 8-6, and then Wunderlich a 33-yard run after a fumble was ruled on what was a forward pass. Officials missed that one. The East took full advantage on the next play, 33-yard run by Wunderlich. That made it 12-8. The West regained the lead on a 15-yard pass from Morgan to Keith of Meade, and 2-point conversion failed, 14-12. And that was Morgan to Keith for 36 yards and a touchdown. Brought Keith of Meade with the reception, one of 3 touchdown catches for him today, and that made it 20-12 West. The East would score on a 13-yard touchdown pass from Wunderlich to Micah Cothers of Chase County, and that made it 20-18. The East would actually that made it 26-20 in favor of the East after Andrew Smith had picked up a pass in the end zone, allowed the East to take the lead. The West would score with 26 seconds to go before halftime, as it was a touchdown pass. Actually, it was a touchdown run by Caden Morgan, and then Morgan and Michelle, Christopher Michelle of Wichita County, 2-point conversion, 28-26 at that point. And then the second half, it was Morgan to Michelle for an 11-yard touchdown pass, made it 36-26 after Logan Meyer ran in a 2-point conversion. Then the 56-yard hook and lateral play from Morgan to Gage Burke to the flip to Brock Keith, had nothing but daylight in front of him. 56 yards to pay dirt, 42-26, 2-point conversion failed. East would battle back, make it 42-34. 23-yard pass from Wunderlich to Andrew Smith. Wunderlich the 2-point conversion run, made it 42-34. West come right back, 2-yard run by Logan Meyer after onside kick was returned by Trace Kinderconnect to Quinter down to the 16. 3 plays later, Meyer with the touchdown run. 2-point failed. East would score. 13-yard touchdown pass from Wunderlich to Tucker Grove, Chase County. Wunderlich the run, made it 48-42. And then the East would get a stop. They got the ball at their own 6. But the ensuing play, it was a low snap. Wunderlich couldn't find the ball, was bouncing around, went in the end zone. He fell on top of it. Ended up being a safety in his own end zone. And then they tried the onside kick, and it was recovered by the D1 West. And that's your final. D1 West 50, D1 East 42. D1 West leads the all-time series 13-10. They win for the second year in a row. And it's interesting ebb and flow of this game, as the West was in control early, then the East had the lead, and then the West took control in the third, and then the West held on to win in the fourth. Let's go down on the field to Dusty Deines.
With Colby Hamill here with the Division I West squad. Started the game with a safety, ended the game with a safety. A big way to finish there, 50-42 win for your team. A grind today, a long game. What stood out for your team today and being able to pick up this 8-point win?
I mean, just the execution. These guys have locked in since day one. We give them a couple plays to learn, and these guys have done a tremendous job of executing, just doing their job, being where they need to be, making the tackles they need to make, making the blocks, extra effort plays. Man, just couldn't be more proud of what these guys did today.
You had a quarterback on offense in Morgan that you found out probably during the week could drop some dimes, and he did that today for you, and you had some very good skill players on that offensive side. I see you collecting these wristbands, so I know that you put in a good system to get 50, right?
And you try to find the best fit for these kids, and we knew going in that Morgan was a slinger. Trent Long also played some snaps at quarterback. He's a runner. I'm a firm believer in just taking what people give you. 50-50, you might run the ball 50 times, you might pass the ball 50 times. Whatever it takes to win the game, and these guys were a part of that. And I'm just, so excited.
What did it mean to have this experience with Logan Meyer one last time, too? And I know you only had him for a year in your system, but he was pretty important, wasn't he?
Man, Logan's such a good kid. He just plays hard, no nonsense, downhill runner, had a couple great runs, had a sack, scored on a 2-point conversion. To be able to cherish these moments with him. Hopefully some of my players, look at this and in the future they want to be here too, so I can, spend some more time with them. I'm so proud of Logan, and I appreciate his family being here to watch him.
Colby Hamill, Lincoln coach, assistant coach for the E1 West. Thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
We're going to try to get to Coach Massey next.
Okay, so we'll send it back to Dusty here in a moment. Let's go through the individual totals for the D1 West. Caden Morgan, 11 carries, 35 yards, and a 1-yard touchdown run. Logan Meyer of Lincoln, 7 carries, 47 yards, touchdown run of 2 yards. Trace Kerndeck to carry for 3 yards. Brock Keith, 4 carries for 7. Trent Long, 1 carry for no yards. Receiving, Braden Bird of Meade, 2 catches for 4 yards. Gage Burke of La Crosse, 1 for 8. Wyatt Gardner of Wichita County, 1 for 8. Trace Kerndeck of Quinter with 9 receptions, 119 yards and a touchdown. Brock Keith of Meade, 5 catches, 153 yards and 3 touchdown receptions. Christopher Michelle, Wichita County, a catch for 11 yards. That was a touchdown. Justin Novotny of Skyline with a big 50-yard reception on a drive there before halftime had 5 catches, 86 yards. He had 2 guys over 100 yards receiving, 1 with 86. Logan Meyer threw 1 pass, 0 for 1 for no yards. Trent Long, 2 passing yards on a pass. His only pass of the game went for 2 late in the game. Caden Morgan of La Crosse, 22 of 35, throwing the football for 387 yards. He had 4 touchdown passes, and did have just the 1 interception. For the D1 East, Chase Wunderlich, 20 carries, 172 yards, and 2 touchdown runs. Jalen Massey, 9 carries for 47 yards from Linden. Brock Griffin, 1 for -5. Throwing the football, Wunderlich was 16 of 23, 237 yards, and he had 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception. So both quarterbacks, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Andrew Smith, a catch for 23 and a touch. Jalen Massey, 2 for 8 yards. Tucker Grove, 3 for 48. Micah Cothers, 5 for 66 yards and 2 touchdown receptions. Caston Worth of Linden, 1 for 35. Brock Griffin, 1 for 26. Josiah Bunura of Care Paravel, 4 catches for 38 yards. Total numbers, the D1 East, 30 carries for 214 rushing yards. The D1 West, 24 carries for 92 rush yards. Total yardage, 451 for the Blue, 481 for the Red. So D1 Red, 481, D1 Blue, 451 passing yardage, D1 West with 389, D1 East with 237. So in this game, we had 932 yards of offense combined unofficially in this game today. So we had 92 points, and we had 932 yards of total offense in this ball game. 3 turnovers. There were 2 interceptions and 1 fumble that, like we talked about earlier, shouldn't have been a fumble, but it was, so you deal with it and you move on. And the D1 West wins it by a final score of 50-42. We are going to have Dusty talk with the head coach of the victorious actually, it would be Michael Massey, the head coach of the D1 East, so not the victorious team. That would be Travis Dabian, but Dusty talked to Kobe Hamill of Lincoln and the winning side there. So we'll hear from Michael Massey, who has yet to lose a game as high school football varsity coach because first year went 13-0. That's not bad. He should retire right away. 1,000 winning percentage. Let's go to Dusty.
Yeah, Coach Michael Massey from Linden, thanks for taking some time here. Your kids didn't give up, that's for sure. You kept the effort in the game and fell just short here today, 50-42 with final. just looking back at this game and experience, what you'd learned from these kids here this week, especially in today's game.
I've learned that there's still a lot of great kids in the world. We feel like that's what we have at Linden, and you don't really get to see a lot of these other guys on a daily basis, obviously, and to get to know them, it's a very special memory that I'll have, and you build some camaraderie in a short period of time, and it's been a great experience for us, and they're all stars. They're not going to give up, and they played hard all the way through, and that's all you can ask of them.
As you talked about, you have great kids at Linden, and you had 3 of them here with you this week. Your son was here, Jalen Massey. You had Gaston Worth here, and also Caleb Anschutz. So you had a chance to see not only your son, but 2 other guys. And 1 year coaching high school football, you got this opportunity, and how special has it been just on that side?
Oh, it's amazing. You get to coach them all one more time. It kind of makes you emotional, to be honest with you. Because they put in so much time. I coach these guys in the 3rd, 4th grade. Traveling, we go to speak and play a little league on Saturday mornings, and you got to coach them then. And then I moved up to junior high and had them through junior high, and then I moved on as an assistant when they went to high school. So I've coached them for 6, 8, 10 years, and you put a final moment on something, it's emotional.
If you had a chance to talk to coaches if they're on the fence about whether they want to be part of this game, what would you tell them?
Oh, it's a great experience. You have to come do it. Again, like I told the interview earlier, if it wasn't for the mattress, it would have been almost a perfect week. It was fun. Beloit's been a great community to be in. They've opened their arms to us, and it's been a great experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Linden coach Michael Massey from the D1 East. Thanks for the time, and best of luck moving forward, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and that will conclude everything here from the sideline as we'll get ready for our next game. Unless Dusty has somebody he wants to talk to, and I don't think you got anybody because we're getting short on time here.
Yeah, I want to apologize to KR92 for not getting Trent Long, but he was playing everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine. So the final score of the Division I All-Star game is the D1 West wearing the red uniforms 50, the D1 East 42. Just quick closing thoughts here, Todd.
Well, I would have to say quickly that was probably the best all-star game that I've seen. And we just in doubt from the beginning to the end, big play after big play. And, yeah, a lot of offense, but there was a lot of good defense, too. So I really enjoyed it, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that, the last 18 years working with you at the radio station has been great. I know that you're moving on to some really good things, and you will certainly be missed, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the last 18 years and stuff on the radio, but even more the stuff off the radio and the visits that we've had about sports and everything else. I think you and I have a lot of the same thoughts about sports, and maybe not the same teams that we like, but, it's been a special 18 years, and I am very grateful for everything.
Well, I'm grateful for your friendship, and my relationship with you developed over those 18 years, and I greatly appreciate those kind words, and it's been a thrill to cover the 8-man All-Star game since 2009, and I appreciate everything you do, not only on the air, but supporting all the things that we do and spreading the word about the things that we do. You've always been one of, if not the biggest supporter of our stations and what we do, especially when it comes to sports coverage, and we greatly appreciate that. But not only that, but appreciate your friendship even more. So thank you for everything that you have done. Todd is not done. I am not done here today. I'll go to the sideline for the next game. Dusty will slide into the play-by-play chair with Todd for the Division II All-Star game with our pregame that's going to start in about 8 minutes. So it'll be, let's see here, about 1:35. For everybody on the network, our pregame will be about 1:35, and kickoff will be right about 2:05 is what we're looking at here. I want to thank everybody, first of all, here to wrap up our broadcast on the D1 game. Special thanks to the Kansas 8-Man Association, Dave Duber, and the 8-Man All-Star Game Committee, Hannah Bowers and the Beloit Area Chamber of Commerce, Manny Finch of Mitchell County Convention and Tourism, Beloit Rotary Club, Beloit Odyssey Club, Beloit Knights of Columbus, Beloit Junior Senior High School and City of Beloit, Rodney Paulin and his staff for getting the field to look so gorgeous today, NCK Tech College, Gary Pauls, the Beloit Entertainment Center, the PA announcer Isaac Schoen, the Beloit Call, Barb and Charles Axtell for their work on the 8-man programs, and all the affiliates who carried the game game today. KR92 in Belleville, KD Country 94, Glen Elder Beloit, 98.9, 1540 KMCP in McPherson, 99.3, 1370 Coyle in Iola, 1510 KLQR in Laundered, and to those listening online at AstroRadio.com, the KQNK stream and app, and AmanAllstars.com. All of our sponsors who made this possible, we thank our local sponsors for everything they've done here locally. It is NCKSports.com, Miller Welding and Downs, NCK Tech College, Remus Farms Chemical and Fertilizer, Thompson Oakey Tire and Beloit, Guaranty State Baker Trust Company, the Schooler Company of Downs, Cunningham Fiber, the Brush Group in Downs, and Central Valley Ag, to all those sponsors on our affiliate stations as well that you heard their ads here today. And thanks to all the volunteers who made the event possible. And finally, thanks to our staff today, our webmaster Derek Nestor, color commentator Todd Clover. Big thank you to Dusty Deines patrolling the sidelines for us here today, and a big thank you to our intern Matt Rice trying to keep our sign up. It keeps falling down in front of the press box. The 39th annual 8-man Division I All-Star Game is in the books. The West victorious in what was a very entertaining contest. The West 50, the Division I East All-Stars 42. Thanks again for tuning in to the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. We'll be back with you here in about 6 or 7 minutes, about 1:35 for our pregame show for our second game of the day. It'll be the Division II All-Star Game. This is the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network.
Thanks for tuning in to the 8-Man Division I All-Star Game on the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. Keep your dial locked on this station as we continue with the 8-Man Division II All-Star Game in just minutes. This has been a production of Durkin Communications and the 8-Man All-Star Game Radio Network.